Okie dokie. All right. All right. Welcome back to M&A&D episode 69, Giggity. Uh, we found M&A inside of the one of the largest cities on the Sword Coast, Waters Deep. Um, kind of in a holding pattern as some preparations are being made before they're set out on their next mission for the council. Um, in the meantime, members have kind of sporadically like wandered throughout the city to look for items of interest. While two of our members went and ran an errand for the Harpers, in which they were asked to locate a missing informant, um, spy member of the Harpers, who had gone missing down on the in the docks area. Um, that investigation netted a lot of information, but nothing as unfortunate as the idea that that particular Harper had been lost to some foul creature. Uh, we're gonna pick up where we left off. That is the following morning. You guys had made your way back to the castle, I believe. To your
I mean, I would have waited
to
up
your rooms.
for them.
Yeah.
We
Like,
got
if they
back
never checked
in.
in, I would have like waited.
I'd imagine that back to the castle as well.
Like we were already in the castle.
I think we did. I did return back to the castle.
Yeah,
you
you and Liam are both back at the castle.
We came in.
Ashton and I came in
With-
and ended up meeting.
Remember they had to
Ramilla.
fly in at the end, and then
You had us flying in, and then Ramilla brought us back to our quarters with everyone, and we discussed what happened there. So then I think we're on the next morning, so we would have been back.
Start that night after Ramilla leaves.
We can also start that night if you want.
Too.
It's up to you guys. How you guys, because
Obviously.
this is all. So either you've taken in the information from this meeting with Ramilla and chosen to go to sleep, or you guys want to discuss maybe some of the things that you've found interesting and lay out what you're going to do on the remaining days, which is like 3 days left.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Somewhere on that, because I put in an order for 2 days. That was day 2 of a week.
I mean, I'm
So I think we have
skipping
5.
a bunch of days, but I'm just saying like that was day 2. I mean, I would.
That was only day 2.
Yeah, that was day 2. I mean, I would ask the two of them like, are they okay? Like, after
Yeah,
hearing what happened, like, I mean, that sounds like that was really close. Like,
yeah,
Relatively close.
a closer encounter with something that we weren't expecting that I would have liked, but we were thankfully cautious, as is the nature of most Harpers.
sort of.
So-
I mean, you went portal hopping.
That's normal for us.
Is it?
We didn't go out thinking we were gonna portal hop.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
we
it
all
didn't sound like you
we went into a
promoted it.
demi plane and ended up back on the material plane from what we could tell.
Yeah, I mean we didn't leave. We didn't
Because
leave
the-
this plane. We
the-
just-
Well, no, there was a
we crossed to a different part on the same plane. We had to pass
Eventually.
through a demi plane.
we passed through a demi plane, yeah. But yeah, no, those kind of things are kind of normal for us, Liam.
Well, I mean,
You-
you've only been a Harper for real for like, I don't know, a few weeks. So I'm not sure how normal it is. And then secondly,
It's normal for me.
Secondly, I don't know of either of you having a way back from any plane if the portal gets closed, which is what it sounds like almost happened, regardless of whether you were on this plane or not. So you were taking it all on a lot of faith that you were able to go back and forth through a portal, which sometimes they are one way.
We
Yes.
tested that.
Yeah, we investigated this, and
How did you investigate this?
I'm gonna go back and look at last. Episode.
No, just right now. How did you investigate it?
Didn't we throw something through first?
No, I reached through first and then walked through and then came back a couple of seconds later.
Yeah.
So so you took your whole body, you went through the plane.
Part of it first.
Right. And if that didn't work, what was your plan?
Mark what was there and then report back to Ramilla.
So you would report back from the unknown plane that if you couldn't get back. If it didn't work, you're everything here worked out. But I'm saying, in the future, if this didn't work out in this very nice way, you guys had no way back.
Yes.
Or one of you would have no way back. Your way of testing it was to throw one of your bodies through a portal and hope that it can come back the other way.
Portals also have distinctive characteristics of when one is one way and when one isn't. These are things that I know through my years of training that you weren't there for.
It didn't seem
Like,
like from your description that you were very confident on your years of training that you knew which way this portal was going.
Well, we knew where. We didn't know where it was going.
Yes. We didn't know where it was going. We knew. We were confident enough to know that it was two-way. We didn't know where it was going. We were cautious about where it ended up. And we made it back because we were cautious and we understood what we were doing.
Okay. I realized.
So basically, you're saying that you take a calculative risk.
Yes, for a mission that we were sent on to gather information.
Good. So you're saying that basically you did what we have been doing for the last couple of months.
Yeah, but when
Yeah,
we do
if the
it,
risk became
last
too
12 months,
apparent, then
do
we
it
would not
generally
have.
together, not split up apart where the other half of the group doesn't know that it's happening and has no way to effectively help them.
Considering everything goes, I think it turned out okay. But I do,
So,
I
again,
do. No, I understand.
So
I
by
understand.
your logic, I can do whatever I want, so long as everything in the end works out okay. Is that what we're setting? Is that the standard we're setting right here? Because I've already been in trouble for doing that.
What I'm saying is, first of all, okay, so I just came back from knocking down somebody's door, okay, and found out a
God,
couple of
what?
things. But like I said, we are all set out to do things that we needed to do in order to move on for the next point of the mission. Okay, Val.
Am I asleep right now? When did I become the moral conscious of this group?
It's not a moral conscience. I don't know. I don't know why all of a sudden.
You broke down a door. They're going off and just doing their own mission without telling the other side of at least where they're going or what the risks involved are. These are all things that I've been in trouble for doing.
Not in here.
Yes.
You have to remember, I'm also the only person that jumped out of the second floor window when the Fandolin was in trouble. I've always been a little bit on the leave before thinking type. This is not new, Leon. You know this. We've been on the trip for a long time. And I started a fight back in Fandolin as well. I killed the guy. Okay, so I just saying we've all encountered situations that we need to take some risk. It's not unique. I don't know why all of a sudden you're making a big deal out of this. I had something I need to find out, and I take a chance. So did I'd imagine so did Val and so
Astrid, go ahead, and then I want to finish my whole statement with this. But go ahead.
I was sent by my superior on a mission. I was supposed to find out what had happened. Within my organization as a Harper, and now Val as a Harper, we are told we have to go and find the information. I was doing what I was instructed to do. And Val came with me because I have been instructed to show him the ropes. So I showed him how to be a Harper. I have done this by myself for a very long time, and I have been on my own for a very long time. I'm sorry that you think that I can't take care of myself, but I did what I was told by the person that I report to.
So, here's the thing. First, Astrid, some of the stuff, again, you're coming into a group with baggage, and I apologize. But this is not probably too unheard of in a lot of cases, and something I've gone over enough as it is. As a whole, we've been trying to make decisions as the group, or or try to like at least let everyone else in on the what's going on, so that no one else is at risk. One of the situations that happened by accident, all right, but still caused everything. Probably is what ended up with those bounty hunter devils chasing after us, and it's still plaguing us, all right, and it's costing us lives. All right, that's not to say you can't do something. It's just to say that everything has repercussions and risks. Second, if there's nothing wrong with you doing a Harper mission or doing whatever. My problem is if you have no way to go out and contact. Like, there are points where you don't have a way to get back a lot of the times, where you go beyond a certain point and you might need backup, or you might it might be a one-way trip, right? And it sounds like that's what we came across. Third, you have my brother, and I understand there's a lot of animosity with it, and there's stuff that me and him haven't worked out yet. And yes, he is very well, he can take care of himself. But as he's also doesn't let it go, I failed him before, and I don't want to fail him again. So, I cannot lose my brother. So, having him just portal hop without me knowing, and just on a whim, right? Just saying, hey, I'm going to go. There's a difference between I'm going to go investigate something in the city and I'm going to go jump through a portal to another dimension, to another plane, with no end in sight, with possibly no way to know how to get back. And also, by the way, I didn't leave you a note. I didn't let you guys know. Wait, there's a big difference in that. There is a, hey, we found it goes to this point. Maybe we should back it off and then let you guys know. There's a big difference in that. I've almost lost him once, and I didn't even fucking know it. So, I don't want to go through that again. So please, bear with me as I'm a little protective of all of you on this. Now, as I come back to my point I was saying earlier, yes, alright, everyone has their things, and sometimes things take risks. But as everyone's made perfectly clear, and we've all agreed, that sometimes maybe we should take a step back and think before we leap, alright? And sometimes we, shouldn't be just playing it so close to the chest, and I'm 100% guilty of this. But that doesn't, because I'm guilty of this, does not mean that it is the right thing to do. So, that's my piece. I can't stop you from making your decisions, and I will leave it with that. But I want to make sure that I've at least voiced them here and now that everyone in this group's well-being is very, very important to me. Your well-being is more important to me than my own well-being. Okay? And Astrid, I'm sorry, you're a part of that now. So, if there's a way we can prioritize the stuff that we have so that we can cover each other, if we're doing things split up around on the city, great, let's do that. If we need to leave a note, if we maybe get to a point where like maybe this is a little bit too dangerous, maybe we shouldn't do this right now, then let's go wait to pull something back. Maybe we should just go back and tell someone before we do something dangerous. I think that's what we should do. All right, but if you want, I can't stop you in the moment. Okay? And just to, like, all of us are the ones that are, like, if we're all the sound ones and we're all the ones that are, like, trying to make the, like, good decisions in this group, right? Like, I don't know when I became the one that's making, like, the don't make secret decisions kind of things. When we have Darfarius in a hammer, who obviously makes weird choices, and that's why he's in a hammer. And then, like, you guys know my past. Like, I mean, like, when did I become the one that says, should we say, like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this? So, like, it's just, let's take a step back sometimes. So that's that.
With Lian's concern, I wouldn't put it aside of it. I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely. I think as a group, we all could use some precautions before we make some decisions. Following upon this mission, did you guys? So may I ask if it's? May I ask about the nature of the mission, or just it's strictly harbor business?
As far as I know,
We were sent to look for a young informant that had only been
Okay.
with Harbors for a couple of years. He'd gone missing off the docks. We
Okay,
went to go find him.
got
Talked
it. So
to
did you?
someone who knew him and knew of his comings and goings. Those clues led us to where we went within the cliffs. We did not know where he was, and concerned for his life, because as a harbor, he is also my responsibility. We went through the portal. Unfortunately, he's dead. So, I understand what you're going through. However, I will not be talked to like I'm a fucking child, because I'm not. I'm going out. I will be back in the morning. Goodbye. Astrid will walk out.
Just hear the big wooded door slam shut, and it kind of reverberates off the stone walls inside of your common room.
well,
So, Val, so about the informant has the information. Did you guys find out any information that the informant has gathered, or it's nothing to do with the dragon's horn or like the cultists or anything?
seemingly the information that we have, and I've discussed this with Ramilla already.
Oh,
Well, I mean, we gave our debriefing to her before we got back here, and I thought you were
naturally.
all there for
I
it.
think she's calling her shots. Yeah.
What we found from the informant was that he died. The nature of it we can only ascertain as the creature that we showed, because last session Astrid used minor illusion to show a small figure of the creature that we saw, or that she saw. What we could ascertain was whatever this creature was guarding this hub of portals somewhere on the material plane, somewhere in Feyre. And
Okay.
we saw the body of the informant. We unfortunately were not able to recover it or any of his information. We knew that he was investigating a ship that had gone missing or didn't quite match up with shipping records. And so initially this started out as there's a missing person and a shipments, a dock or cargo at the docks just not quite matching up, and we were investigating that. Turned out we found a portal in a cave, in a hard to access cave on the cliff face, on the southern end of Waters Deep, and in there was a portal and it had strange markings. We vaguely recognized these markings as an old script of ways to identify landmarks, but we don't know much else, and so we gave this information to Ramilla and the Harpers, and they're looking into it. But currently, this is not our priority. It is something that Ramilla has asked us to keep an eye out for, but there's definitely something else going on, but we don't have any more information on it at the moment, and it's up to the network of Harpers to gather more information and look into it from here.
Harper does not require our assistance at the moment to resolve this whole mystery.
Not quite yet.
Okay. All right.
Astrid and I are currently on standby, and we'll discuss if anything ever comes up with that at a later point if we need to. For now, there's nothing else about it that's currently impacting us or our mission with this group.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing information. I guess it would be my turn now to kind of share the reason why I had to kick down somebody's door. So
I'm interested in this story.
There is something I need to share with. I was hoping that Astrid wouldn't like bolt it out of the door, but given everything that was said, it's understandable. But all right, so you all know, back when we were all the way in the north, like when we're stuck in that underground cave in the snow plain, I read something from the archive that was under there, and ever since then I kept hearing this strange whispering around my ear. And today, when I was just wandering around the city, because I wasn't able to, I was hoping I can enjoy the side of the city for a while, since like the last time when we were here, we were in a hurry and I wasn't able to get some time. I basically feel the same commotion mentally near this archive that was run by this old sage. And when I went for investigation, something happened after another. I happened to kick down the old sage's door, but it's okay. Everything was okay. I was forgiven. We had a long discussion, but what I found out, I need to alert you guys because I think it's warranted our attention. It has something to tie with what's going on in the world right now. So what I learned was, there's part of this faction that from the Dark Elves that apparently they are plotting something that has something to do with all the commotions and the movements and all these changes and aggressions that Dragon has shown in recent time. I don't know what that has to do with the Dragon cultist, but I was told that there's something darker, something more powerful that's behind the scene, that's in play, that's tied to these Dark Elves faction. I will tell you guys that it is a faction that I have known for a long time. It is a faction that I was taught when I was growing up. and it was information that was passed down by my parents.
What faction
But
is this?
I don't know. But I do know the leader of that faction. His name is called Nerovane. What they're doing? How are they connected? Nerovain, Nerovain, I think.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So what I can share with you guys is he was once considered a royal among the Dark Elves community. He was, according to the legends passed down by my parents, that he was once a royalty, but for something that he did, he was driven out of the domain of the Dark Elves ages ago. Now, what he is doing right now, and how his activities connected to the dragons and all these, I could not find out from the archives or from the sage that was talking to us. But this is the information I can share with you guys. And also, what I know is that their presence are in the east, and that's as far as I got.
So these are drow, I assume, that are
Yes.
what, in the Sword Coast? Here?
Yes, their presence is definitely across the sword. It's definitely in the Sword Coast, and apparently
their presence was more inland from the Sword Coast.
More inland than the Sword Coast, but it's east, more east from here. And that's all I can share. That's all I found out. And as to how their activities or how this faction is related to the whispering I kept hearing, I have yet not discovered the link yet.
Valen, something's been nagging at me for a little while now, and
okay,
along with this needed attempt and reason for us to continue to be more trusting and honest with one another, I need to ask your permission if you are okay with me asking you a question that might put you on guard.
Okay. Well, since we've been sharing facts, let's go. What do you want to know from me?
Who are you really? I've learned during our time in Luskin.
Shit.
I learned during our time in Luskin that your name isn't your real name, and while I understand, for various reasons, having a guise or having a alternate identity, and while I am not here to fault you for that, I do need to know whom we travel with and whom we are facing these dangers with, because what was presented to me when I was given the information that your name that you go by, that I know you by, isn't your true name. It was presented to me with a sense of fear and awe by one of the Brotherhood of the Arcane. So also, Terry, I love you. You're dope.
I just wish I could see his face right now.
Just him making
I was
that
not
face.
aware that the Brotherhood would have the knowledge about my kins and the lineage that my parents told me about. To be frank, I'm surprised that anyone that still stay alive right now presently that would know what my kins and I and my parents have been through the last couple hundred years. But if you really must know, I was a product, apparently, according to the legend of my father's kins. I was the product of their experiment to try to capture a mythical power that would ultimately gain access to a dark deity's power. And
like a vessel or like a sacrifice?
I'm not a vessel, I can tell you that. But well, I'm not a vessel for the dark deity that I was supposed to,
I mean,
that
right now
was
you're just
said to
bragging about
control.
killing one person and breaking down doors, so I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't kill the sage. He's still very healthy. I feel the commotion at that moment, and for no ways I was able to figure out how to open the door. So and I knocked and nobody answered. So I just
So
basically
right, so dark deities would break down the door. That's the next
no,
logical step.
no, no,
Alright.
no. So it is said by my kins that somehow through my singing of a certain song or maybe a spell or whatever, like a chanting or something, that I would be able to gain access to the power of the Spider Queen. The Spider Queen that was said that has ruled this plane all the way in the ancient ages. The the reason why I had to hide my name was because that knowing even slight possibility that could be a thing, I do not want anybody, not even myself, to have such capability to do such a thing. And apparently throughout the ages of the Dark Elves, the Drought, that they have been experimenting and trying to come up with any person that can get her this power of singing. But as far as I know, I could be the only person that's alive that can do this. And I've known this legend ever since I was little, but I didn't know I would become that person until when I turned 37. Apparently, that's when the power kicked in. And apparently, that's when the ability of seeing such a chant can fall effect when whatever person that's gonna be given the ability turn 37.
Just 37? Even by
I don't.
half elf years, that's very young.
And
I
you're
know.
like old as dirt, right? So like
I am 80. I'm over 80 now, so I don't know. So the thing is, so what I can tell you guys is what I've been doing all these years. I've been trying to figure out a way to get rid of this power.
well, let me try something real quick. And I'm gonna
Okay.
take out the pearl that I use for identification. and I'm going to cast Identify on Valen. So this is just the first level spell, nothing too fancy.
Okay.
But one of the things it should do.
Does it work on creatures?
Is it this one, or am I thinking?
It says
magic?
Objects.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
on
it's saying
creatures.
objects.
I thought Identify would also identify if a person is affected by a spell, but is that detect magic? I thought literally like Identify would.
No, identifies for objects. Detect magic, yeah, maybe, but there might be
But
like
it only
detect
tells you
good
like
or
the school.
yeah, but
of,
detect
like-
good or evil might be what you're thinking of.
I thought it was a spell that I could do. You know,
So, anyways, as you identify the myriad of
the property of the magic
tools
of it. Yeah.
that Valen carries on him, kind of just start to.
Oh, well, that would be a specific tool. I'm literally touching him himself to see if he's like a.
Yeah.
if he has
So the
any
tools on
properties.
his belts and stuff is that you're familiar with is.
If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn it. It's the last sentence.
If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting,
Yeah,
you learn
that
what
was the one I was
spells,
thinking of.
if any, are currently affecting it.
Oh, that's
Um,
actually hella interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I was right. This is so.
Okay.
If someone was cursed, for example, or whatever, you can and you didn't know what the curse was, you can use Identify spell on it. It's just one of the. It's just the.
Isn't
low-
a curse different than a spell?
No,
Still a magical effect.
it's a magical effect. So
It's the same thing.
yeah.
But
There's literally
in
a
nature, it's not a curse. It's some power. It's a power that through singing a certain chant, and well, I don't have the access of that chant.
If it's so I'm doing the Identify spell to see if it's something that like if it's magical in nature and you're like touched by it essentially, then
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can glean.
You get
anything
no
or
more.
mark
You get no
anything,
more
yeah.
sense. You get no more sense from using this than you would that this is an individual who can and does wield magic.
Okay.
Is touched by the same force that you're now learning, that gives you the ability to wield magic.
Yeah. Well then but that answers it. So so I would say after that is like, look, Valen, I don't know what the prophecy says, and I don't know. I trust me. There are lots of things out there that I don't understand at all, and I probably never will. And this can be very scary, and obviously it's something that's gonna wait on you for your entire life. However, that doesn't. Look, from what I can tell from right now, you're not afflicted by something. This isn't something that's like makes you any different than a normal person. Does that make sense? Like
That
you're not,
I'm pretty sure. No.
Right, but it's you're not what's the right word? Cursed is the only word. When you're looking at a negative connotation, you're not cursed with something.
I'm more like
it's
imbued with something.
I mean, maybe, but I don't like maybe from the ways of the wording, but not like. I don't see anything more special. Don't take this one away, but I don't see anything more special with you than any other magical, empowered person. So, you're not radiating superpower or
No.
negative or whatever. So
Not as far as I
he
know.
is charismatic as hell. So
right. I mean, I just want to stroke your hair, but other than that, I mean, I think, that's a little off.
So Valen,
Yes.
there's nothing. So there's nothing here that tells me that you aren't Valen, and if you still do not need to tell us your name, that is fine. Like I was more concerned of, are we actually traveling with a demon or something that is like
No,
plotting to
well,
kill us? And so
the
you've mentioned.
thing is,
Go
okay.
ahead.
The thing is, the reason why I picked my last name as a Heimsinger, it's kind of like I wouldn't call it. It's more a self-sarcasm, given that apparently, according to the legend and the myths of Drow, that the person that possess such power that can gain control of the Spider Queen's power, they call the person Heimsinger.
Wait,
So
wait.
this is
Spider Queen?
yes, the Spider Queen.
Well, who's the Spider Queen? Is she related to the spider fuck that we've already killed?
I don't know. I'd imagine not, because she's supposed to be this ancient deity that has been. She's not. I don't think she's sealed. I think all the ancient gods, no
Phelan.
matter if they're god for the dark or for the light, they all
Phelan.
just. Yes.
I have a question kind of regarding this.
Go ahead.
Two questions. One, are you part Drow? I'm not seeing the connection there. And two,
Yeah, what elfish are you?
are you connected to the Shadowfell?
Well, the Drow are from the Underdark, not the Shadowfell.
I know.
Where are you pulling the Shadowfell?
What I can tell you is my father was a dark elf, and my mom was a human. That much I remember.
Your dad was a full-blood Drow?
Or at least that's what I was told.
You don't know who your father was?
I know what my father was. I know what my father told me.
Yeah. And that's pretty much that's all I really. So that helps fill in the gap of how you got so rooted into this lore within the Drow. So that answers that for me. The next question that I proposed is about the Shadowfell, and the reason that I ask this is because while we were in Luskin, God, what was her name? Hold on, I actually have to like go look in my notes for her name.
Oh.
The red tiefling.
Yeah.
It starts with an M. I'm just. Not Marfel. That was the Toad.
Something that's Crimson.
Macath.
Yeah.
All right. I was with Macath for a brief moment in Luskin, which is who gave me this information about you and your name. And while we were there, she took me into. I kind of have this sixth sense for when portals are nearby, due to my training and my time spent hopping between the planes of existence. And I sensed that the tower in Luskin was sitting on top of a portal. And I asked Mekath about this, and she seemed surprised and confused and decided to lead me down to where this portal entryway sat. And that's where she told me about to be cautious of you, and then eerily and a little too on key, the portal activated and drew us in because of our general proximity. And on the other end, I don't know where, but the sense that I got was I was on, and DM, correct me if I was wrong, if it wasn't this place, but I was in the Shadowfell briefly.
Describe the place.
That portal. hold on. I'm actually going to pull out my notes so I don't fuck it up.
It was dark and creepy.
It was. I think there were. I don't want to just like, say shit for saying shit, right? So like, let me. Portal activates. We walk in. McCath says the portal has been dormant for almost 1,000 years. We end up in a dark realm. There is a light off in the distance. The ground seems to be made of a silken strand substance that tries to keep people there. So I ended up in this place.
Would you consider it to be similar to the portal you just walked through?
No, I don't think so. You didn't describe the demiplane one like that, and if you did, then I missed that.
It didn't have this.
I didn't think it did either.
Yeah,
but it wasn't just a tunnel.
Like
it was a tunnel.
Both of them were tunnels.
Both of them were tunnels?
Well, what you just read and what we just went through were both tunnels.
The dark realm was light off in the distance.
Yeah, we went to the
dark cave.
So the pocket dimension is actually the Shadowfell?
No, it was a pocket dimension. Yeah.
It's now dawning on you.
Well, shit. Can I do a history check to see if there was any like carvings on that stone portal?
You could do a history check. You could do a history check, and I can.
Okay. It's not terrible.
You do remember before walking through the first portal that there was something etched into the stone.
Okay.
And then something that kind of drew your attention in the second tunnel is as you got closer to the end portal, you saw wisps of like a spider-like webbing. They got thicker as you got closer to the end.
Shit.
Remember, because you got stuck in.
I know. The way it was described in the first one was that like the ground was made of silken strands and it was literally like sticking to my feet. The second one, he's describing it more like in my mind is more of like tendrils coming off of the door and floating around in the ethereal space that you're walking towards.
When the door started to collapse, those tendrils
they started to fray.
Spider web started to retract.
That's what happened.
That was the one that we were, not the one that the first one that I was going to. That was the one that we occurred in. So I'm now gathering that. Okay, interesting. Okay. So complete side note: the first time when I was going through in that first portal, I legitimately thought of like I ended up just like in a random place, dark, gloomy, like vast expanse, and like off in the distance there was like fog and a like the outline of like a keep or something like out in the distance. That's what I had in my mind. I was like, definitely shouldn't be here. That's what I was trying to leave. Way more dramatic than what it needed to be.
Yeah, you went to the fucking Ravenloft.
I know I did, but I also don't tell me. Yeah. All right. Trying to get back into character. Yeah. So under the tower in Luskin, there was a similar portal. I remember there being something etched on the portal. I don't remember the exact etching. But looking back at it, it kind of reminds me of the portal that Ashton and I just encountered. I might need to talk to Ramilla about that. But the portal that we went through felt very similar to the one I just went through with Astrid, in that there were these silken tendrils all around. But I could distinctly remember the feeling of being in the Shadowfell. It had been something that I've been to once in my past, and it's not really a place or a feeling that you soon forget, and not one that I really want to return to. so that is why I ask if that had any meaning for you.
Okay, so obviously I have researched about this Spider Queen before. By the way, according to the legends, her true name is Los. What I know is she's one of the ancient deity that was once battled giants and dragons in order to fight for the control over our plane eons ago. But according to the legends, all the ancient deities, no matter it is for the dark or for the light side, I think they all seal themselves away. I don't know as to what her power could be, but all I know was from what my father has told me, because apparently this is something that the kin of my father was the faction of the Drows that was studying the power of Heimsinger. But my father's faction was the people that they didn't want to do anything with the power anymore. But for some, whatever cruel joke of destiny or fate, I ended up having this power. So, in order to rid this world of this potential disaster, I've been traveling and trying to find a way to remove this ability from myself and from this world forever. So this is everything I know about my ability that I'm sharing with you guys right now, because frankly, I was really caught off guard when Val, you told me the Brotherhood actually knew who my people were. Because as far as I knew, throughout the decades I've been traveling alone, I've never met people actually understood or even heard of my people's path. So maybe it's fate. Maybe with all the dragons moving and the aggression against the Sword Coast and across the land, something is behind. Maybe even has something to do with this Nerovan dude. But I just feel maybe it's the right time to let you guys know. Well, like you guys said, me having this ability never affected, at least not even once, about my partnership with all of you. And my ability so far has never, my existence and my ability in my past has never endangered the team. But maybe like Val said,
check. Go ahead. Oh shit, I'm literally just checking to see if he's being truthful.
Okay.
Shit.
I believe him.
So
yeah, everything he's telling you is heartfelt, and you've known him for these many months traveling on the road. Valen never thought that he would be any cause of harm to you all.
I've sensed this for a long time, and that's why I've been attempting to protect him in all of our battles. Even though he doesn't fucking heal me.
No, he doesn't
ever.
heal me. I knew that was coming.
well, the truth of the matter is, the truth is, I'm at a place. I mean, when I was young, I was actually more eager to explore exactly what was done to me and about this power and the myth and the legend that I was born to carry. But as time passed, I find it, at the same time, I need to be careful. I need to pay attention to what's going around me, around the world. I need to be more one with the world and with the people of the Sword Coast. Other than that, life I feel like life by myself alone wouldn't mean anything if all I did was just hunting down those truths, right? So this is why I never intentionally kept this from you guys. I just never found the time. Well, I just never come across any information that would affect you guys, that I felt the need to share this information with you. Because honestly, up till recently, I never would have imagined that the dragon's horn, and all these scourge of the dragon's, violence would have anything to do with, with what I was dealing with. But, since now Vale's Brotherhood definitely knew something about my past, I feel nothing. I wouldn't, I don't feel the need to hide this from you guys anymore. I never felt the need to. I just felt this would be a good time to share with you guys, and that's all.
I mean, I don't know that much about the Spider Queen, but I mean, Drow. I mean, I know as much as about pretty much any other person in Elven culture. There are, black sheep cousins from the Underdark, I guess is the best way to describe it. Our societies mix a bit, but you're more likely to see wood and high elves here than you are to see drow in general. Yeah, and there's something I do remember something about, like, generally drow they skew more evil, and they did pray to some evil spider golf, but like other than that, like, it is.
Okay, good. I'm glad we weren't the only ones who caught that. Spider golf. We're just 8 clubbed like 4.
No, I had to do it for
Nope.
Reba.
Nope, he's totally torturing me. I fucking fat fingered something.
Oh, is that something that you sent him?
Yeah. I wasn't even gonna say the last sentence, but it was just too funny.
Oh, that's great.
Nope, he's totally torturing me.
I'm just like picturing like a spider hybrid with like 6 golf clubs.
8. They have 8 legs.
So,
so 3 golf clubs.
Tiger spider golf woods.
Yeah. So DW remembers from the long ago when he was just a little elfling. Lots of different stories, myths, and when the drow were brought up, it was always like tales of warning, of caution. They can't be trusted. They're always were the bad guys, the boogeymen a lot of the time.
Right.
And in particular, in just one story he remembers is that, that these drows, if would find an elvish child in the woods alone, that they would take them back and they would sacrifice them to their spider god.
Oh, so this is where your innate fear of spiders came from, isn't it, Liam?
No, my innate fear of spiders came from all the shitty experiences with spiders that I've had, that has continued to happen, and has only proven that my fear of spiders is 100% just.
I think part of I guess, to be honest, I think part of the innate fear for dark creatures for the elven kids, I'd imagine partially is driven from the faction of the drows that was experimenting on their own people in order to gain access of the power of the Hangsinger. From what my father told me, when the drow was studying such power or even trying to gain access to it, they were lots of elves or even their own droughts people that were experimented on and just slaved before in hoping to gain to create a creature that can possess such power. And according to the legend, majority of the time it doesn't really even matter if the creature is conscious or not. They just need a vessel to have the power. So according to my father's kin's writings, um it was a horrible past.
I mean,
It was so bad to the point that it actually broke apart that part of the faction of the droughts that drove away some of the people that they just stopped wanting to have anything to do with the power anymore. And
aside
that's
from
how
your
bad that was.
aside from your, naughty streak where you break down doors or jump out windows or, get in a random tussle, all right, you are a good person. Um, and if you have drow in you,
I
it
appreciate
doesn't,
that.
it does not seem to have made you any worse of a person, and that doesn't make sense that it would. The few, I think there were a few drows. The only ones I've ever had any encounter with would have been in the order. We didn't really run the same circles. Um, but if they're part of the order, then those assassins, then obviously they're not there for good reasons. But with that being said, the Order of Assassins has a bunch of other people too, so it's not like that's indicative of the Drow as a whole in general. But the the stories that I know were the Drow again. They're the elves that are not of the wood or um, high elven descent, and they generally, I don't remember if they came from or have migrated to, but they generally founded the Underdark, and everything in the Underdark just seems like it's harder to live, harder to work. You just got to fight to live and survive there more. Things are creepier. Things are more, um, just tougher to live. So just something. But yeah, I mean anything that feeds on evil down there, and then is a god down there. Something we have to be mindful of. Uh, with that being said, how does this intersect with our current mission? I'm not sure. I feel like we're being pulled in a bunch of different directions because based off what me and you found, we have to go. We have to go to hell. Oh, by the way, Val, Rakshasas, they suck. Uh, the only ways we're going to have to deal with that eventually is to go to hell. So that's a fun trip that we get to look forward to at some point. Hope you're
I don't
looking
like
at
hell.
vacationing in hell.
Hell's not a fun place.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
What Liam found, there's no other way to deal with them but to go to where they are.
I can understand this.
But I'm just saying, it just seems like all bad things seem to be pulling us in a lot of different things, and I'm not sure where they're intersecting yet. Just something to.
Well,
Yeah.
having said all this between us, I think it is safe to say that we are in a position that we cannot afford to lose any more companions. In fact, I feel more comfortable if we can gain more companions before we start dealing with the our trip to hell. So
Well, I'm not
having
sure
said
when our
this,
trip to hell would happen. I'm just,
yeah,
we're only
but
here for a
having
short period
said
of time.
this, maybe it's time for us to catch up with Astrid and trying to convince her to come back to us.
Well, she walked out earlier, and I'm sure she'll be back when she's ready, or we'll
So-
talk to her tomorrow.
It is late at night.
Yeah.
When she stormed out, she had mentioned she won't be back till dawn. This is a city pretty unfamiliar with you all, and this is her. I want to say second home, but this is probably more like her fifth or sixth or
her
seventh.
home turf, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think.
You can look if you
I'm
like.
I'm just gonna hope she doesn't do something, extra belligerent.
Master, she knows her way around. I think Waterdeep is her backyard, so I'm not worried about her. I'm more worried about her storming out of this alliance.
I don't think I got that impression from her. I think
Yeah.
just more she was mad that I was giving her talking down to her, but
All right. So what are you guys gonna do? Okay. So
I mean bedtime, I guess.
Yeah, well, let's
We
just
do need
get to our bed and
I
rest.
will say this at some point, all right? I have a few things I've already set up, and I want to continue to do research. But if we are going to hell and whatever, Astrid probably has more of a forte of hellish things and access. And we did take or we did see her talk to one of those temples at one point. I think when we were in Luskin or something.
I was the only one there for that.
I did announce that I was going though.
Didn't we know? Didn't we all?
Yeah, I announced that I was going.
Not everybody went. I was just me and her who were at the thing. She did announce it though, that she was going up there, and you were doing research. Terry was doing research. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went with her.
Wait, I didn't say that. I wasn't assuming where she's going right now. I'm saying.
Yeah, in Luskin, that was how the group was split.
Right, and didn't she say she was going to? Haven't we seen her go to a temple?
You have.
I have. I've seen her go.
Didn't the group?
I've seen her go to a temple, and she's said that she's gone to a temple.
Right, and I know she's like part paladin. So
Yes.
like my assumption would be is that she has some tie to a temple. So then we could. Anyways, my point still stands. I was like, we would say like, we're still gonna have to talk to Astrid about if we circle back to the other conversation, which is at some point before we go, we might want to talk to Astrid. We want to bring this information that we gather on the Rakshasa and having to deal with them in hell. We might have to talk to Astrid and have her get her contacts or information or research done on how to best do that, so that we can figure out where to go with that. But
Okay.
otherwise, I have a few shopping things to do and just more general research, I guess.
Okay. I'll bring something up in the morning. If there's anything else that's happening tonight, I'll let that go ahead.
I think we can all go to our room and rest.
How much more of that book do I have, Eva?
Which one in particular?
The one that's like my family heritage and Midtrenner, I guess. The one that I got from Warwick originally.
Right. So you want to know what's in it, or how much you have until you're done reading it?
As soon as I'm finished with it, I'm going to give it to my brother.
You have probably
I would have been reading it like every night that I'm not like on watch, because I only sleep 4 hours. I only have to have 4 hours of rest.
Right. So you have about, I want to say, about 18 more hours of reading.
Okay. So I finish out this week, I can be done with it.
A lot.
Big book.
It's Elven. Elven books are big. and confusing, and it's all written in like ye old English of Elven.
Yeah,
and so it's hard
because
to
they
fucking
write in big letters.
understand.
They hit those
Reading
big
King
swooping
James.
letters.
It's like they take umlauts, but they square it, and you're like, wait, why the fuck did they square an umlaut? And it's like, well, that's their fucking language.
I feel like Em is now judging like what I think would be a long time to read a book.
Yes, that's that. She's like 18 hours.
100%,
That's a big
right?
book.
Okay.
100%. No, this is like my wife too, who's reading like 12
about
books
to
at one
say.
time. Yeah,
I'm like a freaking. Yeah, I read a lot of
He's a
books.
bookworm.
yeah.
It's okay.
I get it. I stepped into that. All right, let's see. Here.
Listen, you
It's
gotta
fine.
translate.
I asked how many more
You
hours
gotta
would it take.
translate.
We have the hours of
Yeah.
period. Moving on. Like I'm not worried about it.
I don't know. I just. Yep.
All right, is there anything else happening
By
tonight?
the end of this week, I will have had that thing done.
Nice.
You have 5 more days. I read 4 hours a night.
All right, is there anything else happening tonight? You've done
Not
your
for
stuff?
me.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I think after all the talking, I'm tired.
All right. If there's nothing else happening tonight, when we get into the morning and we all reconvene outside, and I'm assuming Ashford is back by this point.
Well, okay, so you guys go to your sleep. I believe DW goes back into his like kind of nice plush. This room is, you guys are kind of set up in nice rooms. There's nice satin pillows and these really comfortable chairs. You sit down with a book that you've been reading that speaks of of the Elvish history of the far east of the Sword Coast, and in particular, you're looking for sections on Myth-Drunner. As you know, the night creeps on, you find a good stopping point, and you finally rest your eyes for knowing that sunrise is in about 4 hours. Right? Is that what you said? You need 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, elves just need 4 hours.
Yeah.
Of
So
meditation.
about 4 hours of meditation until dawn. You finally put the book down and you stare into the embers of this flame in the fireplace of your room. Valen across the hall has been asleep for a long time. In a similar room across the hall, your brother also thumbs through some books that he's had, and in this weird kind of mirrorish way, you both put down your books at nearly the same time and go into this trance state to gain your rest. He's also staring into the embers of this fire, watching like the flames kind of start to shrink, watching those like emeralds the embers start to crack in the logs, creating those square lines. Before you know it, the sun starts to rise, and you start to hear like the city start to bustle. The crows, or not crows, but the roosters, start to sound. You hear horns outside that signify like the changing of the guards. As the castle watch kind of rotates, shifts, and starts to become a little bit of commotion in the main shared room as Valen, who's awake and kind of sitting in one of the high back chairs, greets Astrid as she comes through the door.
I hope I didn't miss too much last night. Right?
You
We're
said
sitting
Valen,
down
You
to
said
have.
Valen, right?
Yeah.
I did say
Oh.
Valen.
Okay. I
So
was just making sure.
good morning. Suffice to say, we had a heart-to-heart with Lian and kind of figured things out. So,
Just me.
to his credit, I'm not defending anybody, but to his credit, we went through a lot throughout, especially between him and his brother. I don't know if Val ever mentioned this to you throughout your traveling with him, but Lian lost an arm due to Val's involvement with the Order of the Assassin. So it's ancient history. Well, it's not ancient, but it's history in the past right now. But when he talked about he really couldn't lose his brother, there's a truth in that. So that was probably the reason why he was overreacting to you and Val were going through the proto. So I think be on behalf of Vian and Val, please don't take it as anything personal to you, because I don't know if you notice, Lian can be emotional sometimes. So that's just how this group has functioning.
It's fine. I took some time to process it. I think he was grieving the loss of a party member still, and I also was grieving a loss. So tempers can be high when grief is involved. I understand where he's coming from. I don't have a lot of experience working with other people, so it's a learning curve. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go wash the blood off my face.
It's
Wait,
only-
was she? Whoa, hold on.
Would you like to roll a perception check now?
No.
I think you might want to roll a perception.
I missed the part. She was covering blood.
I believe
that's
you
why
might
you
want
have
to
to
roll with disadvantage.
Oh no!
You're not hiding it. He's rolling a disadvantage.
I know.
Perception with disadvantage. Okay.
Come on, you've got great stats, Terry. You can do this.
I got +3 on perception. I don't think that's anything great.
It's better than what Astrid had. No, it's equal to what you have now. I think.
It isn't until she mentions that she would like to wash the blood off her face that you notice that not only is she like covered, or I wouldn't say covered, but like there's spackling of blood all across her face, her chest, and then you look down at her fists, and they just seem to be caked in crusty red blood.
Wait, it's already crusty. That means, all right. So by the way, mind if I ask you what about the blood stain on your body?
Well, like I said, I went and processed things. My way of processing is drinking and then fighting for money. So here's to
I'm
gold.
really glad. I am really glad that you did not. On behalf of the team, I'm really glad you did not set it off on Vale, on Lian just then and there. I am really glad, and trust me when I said, I mean, knowing what kind of job a harbor master could do, or what a harbor master is capable of, you being one of the most experienced ones around the Waterdeep, certainly give you the credit for this. So
Well,
and on top of that, we heard from Vale about what happened during you guys' so-called mission, and I would like to say, I don't think Vale and I, maybe we have to talk to Liam, but I don't think Vale and I would mind if comes down to it that the harbors do require our systems with whatever this mystery ended up to be. We could definitely offer render some help.
At that point, you just hear this as Anchu just barrels through the door and immediately starts teleporting. He's missed his opportunity. Like he's behind the ball on getting outside to pee.
Anju, no.
Blink puddles like all around the place.
Leon really need to put a leash on that dog.
There is a leash on
It
the
would
dog.
blink out of him.
He blinks right out of his leash.
Figuratively speaking.
No,
For
you look at the
sake,
door.
Can we say that he ended up blinking into Val's room, and then Val, all you hear is like, "What the fuck?" and it's covered in pee as he gets up.
Hey, Pete.
DW standing in his door with like a
Oh.
limp leash in his hand.
Yep. He was on a leash.
Damn it, Anchu. Why can't you be more like Skull? Skull is so like well mannered.
Skull's just sitting in a corner glaring.
Anchu teleports next to the Skull, and there's as Skull just kind of growls on, and then Anchu just and then gets down, and then he just kind of like starts to kind of crawl like all four paws just towards his master. He will not teleport again in this room for at least the next hour.
Anju.
Well, I guess we're all here. Oh.
I guess we could do perception checks from the two of you to see if you're as unaware as Valen.
Yes. Also, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, the symmetry of the brothers as the chaos settles down, you all look at Astrid, who's like at the foot of her door, ready to enter. The chaos broke out, and you notice just the hell she's been through. Literally, she looks like she punched her way out of hell.
Fun night.
Actually, yes. It was quite nice.
Okay.
Imagine her feast on your face, Leon.
Yeah, don't piss her off. Gotten hit by her once. It's not fun.
I appreciate that, like, all of you are like, wow, she's covered in blood. Definitely not a murderer. Awesome.
You're too lawful good for that shit.
Awesome.
Yes,
well,
that's how humans.
We've
speak.
had
we've
run.
That's the least of our worries.
I know, seriously. Blood on our companion's body, that's the least of a worry. As long as it's not coming out of that person's body, it's fine.
Awesome.
I know.
You when you get a minute and you're done cleaning up, I assume that's what you're about to go do. We have a couple of hopefully brief things to discuss before we go on with what we need to get done for the day.
Yeah, of course. I'll be right back. I'll whistle and Skull follow me in, and I'll clean up.
Val's gonna look around to see if
do exactly what he was doing and ignore the whistle.
Val's gonna look around and see if we have any like morning breakfast fruits and cheeses and stuff set out, and just snack on something for a little bit while he waits.
I mean, once I'm done, I'll come back out. It won't take long.
Again, you guys find a tray full of like a charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Choo-choo board.
You get a choo-choo board?
You got a choo-choo board out there full of cheeses and grapes and crackers. It's sitting there in the main room. Valen, who passes on the grapes, goes right for the moldiest cheeses. I'm assuming.
How can I?
About how
flavors?
Yeah, talking about like how deep the
Complex.
flavors are. If you get a nice crunchy piece of cheese, you could tell.
It's moldier, the better.
Right? Talk on it.
No. We have got stuff to do.
Now, well, what you guys don't understand is that Waterdeep is close to the coast, and it's really difficult to find
It's
a
literally
good
on the
seasoned
coast.
piece of goat cheese that's seasoned with the ocean's breathe. The saltiness is just right. So
Wait.
you guys should take the time and enjoy the cheese.
Time out. Are you saying we don't know on the Sword Coast that Water's Deep is on the coast?
No,
No,
what he's
what I'm
describing
saying
is the
is,
intricacy of the Sword Coast actually seasoning goat cheese with sea salt, just as it kind of like whisks itself
Oh, okay. So he's
inland.
just insulting my palate, not just he's not insulting my
No,
geography. Okay, that's fine. I
no,
don't. That I'm okay with it.
yeah,
no.
I'm okay with
You're
that. I've been eating rations for a while in here, so like everything tastes about like the same cornstarch. But like I'm fine with going to have fancy foods when I know they're not poison. But like I know where Water's Deep is, and if it's across, if it's on the
no,
coast.
no. He was remarking on the geography of this particular place, how it refines and it changes the cheese,
yes.
the intricacies.
I thought we were about to have another one of those moments where he's like, "I've seen things far and wide, and your store stuff is just not good."
Seeing things far and wide, but I definitely tasted things far and wide than you did. Considering you guys weren't even gonna take the crocodile jerky that I made for you guys.
That crocodile jerky went bad a while ago.
So the three men stand around the choo-choo train.
That's the
Awkward
Argue-
transition. The three what?
The three whatever
three
these guys
guys.
are, as they kind of like bicker and argue about the cheese and the happenings of the past. When you walk out freshly cleaned, and you find these seemingly idiots, you're like, what? The cheese is salted by the ocean.
All right. Well,
Valen's right,
I,
I'll just take a bite out of an apple.
It's so good that you
Because
eat an
even
apple.
back in Fenderling, even though Fenderling has goat cheese, but they all taste very different.
Keep in mind, he spent a lot of time in that apple orchard.
all right. Well, for now, I would like to discuss something that I've been spending some time on for the past few days.
Go ahead.
So with all of this talk of trying to figure out how things might be connected and where we might need to go and what we might need to look into, I finally got the time to read this book, and I'll pull out the Beyond the Iron Gate, and I'll just open it. As you can see, it's written in Infernal, so it took me a little bit longer to find the time. This isn't like an easy read like Elvish or Common for me, so it took me some time to sit down and remember exactly how to read it and not get lost in it. Which is why it took me until now, where we had some downtime to read it. This book talks about a lot of stuff, but part of it is potentially interesting for us. And the reason that I find this potentially interesting for us is we found this book from the Red Wizard of Thay that we encountered on the Sky Castle. And in part of this book, they talk about devil summoning, and then they talk about a ritual of mass summoning to bring forth Tiamat. And this concerned me.
Did it
For
say where
one-
Tiamat was being summoned from?
No. The information that I got wasn't too big on specifics. There's no definitive information on this ritual of where it would need to take place, where it would connect, what all is explicitly required, but it says that it requires a vast sacrifice of souls at a singular time. I don't have any evidence that this is explicitly connected to what we're doing and what we're investigating with the Drakkenhorn and what our group has been looking into, but it doesn't really sit right with me. I also don't know why this is a book written in Infernal that talks explicitly about Tiamat. But this can't be good. And so yesterday when you brought up, the Rakshasa and the Hells and why we might need to go to hell for one reason might be connected into various other things, and I just can't shake the feeling that this might have some bearing on what's going on, and this is also some information that I believe should be given to the council through the proper channels, and by this I probably mean we should probably tell Ramilla, and she can let the proper authorities know in the right way, and they can also look into this some, because this doesn't... Hell is not an easy place to get to. I've only ever been to I think only ever been to one of their cities. I don't really remember it. All I remember is the smell. Some of that stuff is still foggy, but
When you were in the Order of the Assassin?
for part of the time, yes. Again, as I've said,
What kind of mission they sent you guys on? That had to go to hell. Oh, sorry, just out of curiosity. I mean, you don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that.
If I didn't have the if they didn't mess with my mind as much as they did so that I could remember what was going on, then, I might be able to say that, but currently all that I have is a distinctive smell.
I mean, it's weird to me that Tiamat, who we know is the god of the chromatic dragons, has a book and a ritual associated with it, and as you said, in the language Infernal instead of the language Draconic.
Yep. I was surprised to see her name show up here.
I mean, in general, it depends on where each god exists. The good gods, to my knowledge, some of them live in like these celestial planes or something. Other gods, dwell in a lot of places in between. In theory, some bad gods obviously would reside in hell or, other evil domains. Maybe Tiamat would be in hell, but I'm not sure why she would be in hell.
Can
we need to do some more research on Tiamat. Well, before we leave, Waterdeep would be beneficial because we haven't gotten that information. I mean, looking up information on the Rakshasa was beneficial. Maybe we can.
Do I have would I have any knowledge of? I feel like I would have knowledge of the hells. Would I have any knowledge of like the lore of Tiamat and kind of how what happened with different gods, just kind of with learning um all of that kind of stuff while training to be a paladin?
You know a lot about the hells. You know a little bit of their inner workings, how to to maneuver, like
Yeah,
who to talk to.
I don't really know
You
any of the.
you wisely did not spend enough time down there to gain knowledge about all of the lore.
Okay,
Like it was a stopping point for you. It is
yeah,
a it was an outpost at sometimes for you, but
yeah,
most of what you knew and learned and try to gain knowledge about was to benefit your survival at the time.
got it.
You know, so you didn't spend a lot of time. You didn't have a like restful time to be to sit down and
Some light
hear of
reading on
tales.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, hear of tales or like try to reminisce about the culture or things like that. Like you're just like, you know what? How do I fucking make it to tomorrow?
Got
Who
it.
do I
Okay.
talk to? Who do I avoid? Yep.
Well,
Not
I
helpful.
think,
Helpful, but
yeah, I think we should bring this up to Ramilla and see if she has any contacts in any of her channels that we might be able to get some more information and to look into this. But I wanted to be able to let everybody know um, that this is what some of my research has gotten us or has informed.
I mean,
But currently, we are still waiting for information from the Harpers to go after Verum the White. Is our next step.
I can go downstairs and do more research on with Warwick and stuff. I got a few days before I have to head to Zargos and get um, a pickup from him. Uh, we did get information on at least the Rakshasa from Warwick. He is it is a devil. Um, it is I don't know how much worse devils can get, but it's terrible. Um, can change into people. Seems to have some form of immunity to magic. Hunts and torments people, and the ways to get rid of it. It seems like we need to um, like killing it here. It doesn't seem to really get rid of it. We'd have to kill it on in hell to finally get rid of it. So otherwise, like I mean, if we're already marked for it, it's either gonna hunt us until we're dead, or if we do kill it here, all we do is piss it off and then make it come back even more with a vengeance, and then hurt all those around us and stuff like that. So again, to shake a Rakshasa's tail, it seems like we need to eventually go to hell to take care of it. Um, take care of it there. Um, I don't know if that's where they disappeared to when they left last, but um, and I'm not sure about the other one, if it would also keep coming after us, or if we can uh, at least defeat it here. It'll stay away, but it's just something we're gonna have to keep in mind is. Um, if we do make a trip either in the future or we don't for something else, we might still have to for the Rakshasa just to get rid of it. We've all been marked at this point. Uh, I have some things in the works to help us with parts of it, but ultimately the methods of us getting to and back from hell are more daunting than I have familiarity with. So we'll have to look into that. and that's just getting there. And then once we're there, we'll have to figure out a plan to find this Rakshasa and remove it.
At this point, you guys kind of decide about what it is you're going to do today. You have 4 days before you need to leave.
Okay.
There are things that you want to accomplish. There are things you want to go check out. You guys need to decide what it is that you individually are going to do today.
I will help anybody with any tasks that they would want help with or backup with. Otherwise, I will do.
Because if we just speed through these 4 days, that's fine too.
Yeah, I'll just do research on.
I have
Tiamat. Research on dragons. And then I will do any other magic research I can do in the meantime, both either specifically blade zingers or spells that I can see if anyone can, work into like low level spells that they can teach.
The only other thing on my list is I'm gonna go pick up the swords that I commissioned from Saren's Fine Weapons. So I'll pick that up. I had 2 days to get those back, so that I think would be the next day.
Not today, but tomorrow.
Tomorrow, but that's the only thing. That's the only
And
other
that's
thing
to
that I
pick
have.
up what?
The 2 blades that I commissioned for 200 gold.
On the last day, I'm gonna swing by Zaragos and pick up as many of the spell scrolls that he has available for us, and then if he had decided to give us a version of the spy devices for personal use.
Then I'll also spend any time just helping or researching Tiamat and whatnot, since that's what I was doing before.
I mean, you could do that. You could do that on your own.
Okay, so then I have 2 things.
Okay.
I have something that I'm looking for, and then I need to go back to the Temple of Tyr. So I guess if anybody wants to come with me, I have some business up at Tyr's Temple. Other than that, that's it.
Can I come along so I can hang out with Skull?
You may.
I think I'll hang out with you guys. I guess I got not much left to do with Waterdeep.
Okay. DW, what are you doing?
I'll stay and do research. I'm just gonna request that one, if I can get a pamphlet for the tier, is just so I understand who he is. I'm just as a general like
drawing of. Have you heard about the Traveler?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of going with that. But like the whole idea is that like I can get like a rundown at some point, like in like our downtime that we can do offline. But like that I would understand.
You do understand.
Where tier.
If you're traveling, tier. You would know if you wanted to do a religious check or whatever. It would be a pretty low roll because
He's pretty prominent.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big
personally,
deal.
I know the name. I just don't remember.
Right.
Wow.
It's a very low check.
Yeah, okay, so you've heard it. You've never been a very religious person.
All right.
You've kind of always had this like you create your own fate. You're not
beholden to it.
You're not beholden to any deity or anything like that. So you're familiar with like some of the more common religions and deities and stuff. Tears come up. you can describe your own personal like feelings towards these deities and religions, but yeah, you don't necessarily need to ask. You're just kind of like, oh, she's gonna go to tier. You maybe even roll your eyes a little bit, like,
Okay. Well, then the other thing I'll just request while she's there, if she hasn't already, I'll just say like, um, this, we don't. I don't need to go there. If I can do research somewhere else, just whatever additional hell combat. I don't know how to pronounce this or how to say it, but like anti-hell things that we could do, or like what she would do to prepare with hell, like while you know what I'm saying, like going in there and talking to the priests and stuff like that, and like saying like, do they have methods of getting to hell or getting back from hell, recommendations of nice places to eat while you're there, whatever, stuff like that. So, whatever paladin-y things you do and ask and stuff like that, I feel like it would be in line with preparing for what we're doing, just from the religious side rather than from the intellectual side.
I will
That make
see if
sense?
there's anybody there that can help us.
Cool.
so.
Yeah. I'm
So
ready when
you
you
guys
are.
sort of headed down those winding staircase through this and entered like this immaculate room. To the right of you, again, you see. I mean, the arch is up into the sky practically. It's a massive room. Um, and again, like always, you see the members of the council all there by this table. Um, they hardly draw their attention to you. Um, DW kind of knows at this point to reach his friend and mentor. He needs to pass them. Well, the three of you, I guess the four of you, because you're bringing Skull with you.
I was always with her.
Yeah, you guys march away from the council as you head into the courtyard and start making your way across Waters Deep. As you guys kind of travel through the busy city, through the streets, the winding streets, up towards where you guys had first found your airship. You guys pass the airship docks that are like high on this cliff edge. You can hear like the crashing water around you. Valen comments about how all the hot dogs here are salted from the sea air or some shit. And you guys continue up this hill that sits high above everything else. And on top of it is a familiar shrine. Astrid had come here once before. As she approaches this time, at this point of the day, it seems to be much more busy. The shrine has kind of opens up on four sides, all the cardinal directions, north, east, southwest.
Wait, you forgot Weast.
Yeah, west as well. So there's 5 cardinal directions. And it's kind of seems to be like carved out of the sandstone in these intricate patterns. Can I get an investigation check from anybody here?
Okay.
Not me.
Sure.
I mean, it's not going to be good, but sure. Oh, well,
I would say,
good.
out of all the intricate carvings, it's Astrid and Val who notice a familiar symbol.
No.
Just briefly, in amongst all of them,
Was it that? Did he just ping that?
He pinged that.
Ah, okay. Okay.
It's the Whist symbol.
It's the symbol of the Weast.
Astrid, as you enter the heart of the temple, you see a figure towards the front, kneeling. The diagonals of the walls that connect north to east, east to south, south to west, west to north, are these intricate stained glass. And kneeling in front of it is a familiar figure. A female that you hadn't seen in some time.
Sorry.
Astrid's little squeal is internal only. Her character would never squeal in such a way.
It sounded like a little fart.
That was Skull.
Excuse me.
Dude, they're all breaking.
She's shorter than, and the juxtaposition of these pews and someone trying to kneel and this particular woman standing looking over the ledge but her head bowed in prayer. You recognize Uma almost immediately.
I'll quietly go over next to her and kneel as well and say a quick prayer before, assuming that at some point she will notice me.
You hear the little dwarven voice say, "Hi, sister. It's been some time. Glad to see you safe."
It's been too long. I'm glad to see you safe as well.
She immediately stops her prayer and hugs you.
Oh, I hug her back.
The boys are outside. Would you like to go see them?
Yes, please.
She ushers you from the pews to the center of the chapel, and then you guys exit out through the western entrance. As you walk out, it's still kind of bathed in that like glorious dawn light, which like stretches out onto the ocean, creates like these beautiful colors. And to the right, a little bit up the hill, is a table, and you see just like this motley crew laughing. There's a human, a couple humans, a half orc, an Aasimar gathered around the table.
I will join them.
As you approach immediately, the cheers go up. Astrid. Oh, some of the Aasimar comes running towards you. Grabs you up, kind of like swings you around. As the other two humans stand up and clap you on the back. The half orc just kind of remains seated with his arms tucked around his chest.
I didn't expect all of you to be here. What's gotten you all back here?
Dornan kind of looks at you. You told me you'd buy the next round, so I've been here waiting. He cracks a smile. The half-orc smile is like displays these jagged teeth. That's off-putting to everybody but you, who find it charming and endearing.
Thorin, if I paid for all of your drinks, we'd all be broke.
Hey, I just need you to go broke.
Oh, speaking of, I will buy that round. I don't know how long you guys have been in town, but I've already made my rounds as well.
No, we heard that you had quite a showing last night. So, I expect you to buy the next 2 rounds.
We'll see.
Willow just kind of like glances at you like, he's only kidding. It's too early.
Well, considering I haven't slept, maybe it's not too early. However,
My child, sit down. Get some rest. Tell us what you've been up to. And who are these? Who are your new companions?
I'll motion for the 2 guys to come over. Well, I was assigned by the Harpers to keep an eye on these guys. They are the ones who took down the Sky Castle, was it?
Oh, they all kind of like cheer and reminisce. All right, we've heard of this. Yana, the Asimir approaches Val, picks him up. Huge, she's this huge, brutish woman. Picks you up, says, kind of looks you in the face. This one's cute, and then sets you down.
Thank you.
You don't have to thank me yet.
Well, what have you guys been up to? It's not often you're all here at the same time.
Shale looks at you sheepishly. Well, we lost some of our adventuring equipment in a raid that did not go well. We're here for a little bit until some funds come. Then we're gonna jump again. Maybe find ourselves another badass warrior. I mean, found one, why not find a second?
You'll never know what you'll find wandering around where you wander.
Well, I mean, aren't you the truth?
Yeah.
They found you?
This is the band that found me after a misadventure.
Let's just have one of those ourselves.
Shale just kind of laughs. She was in some shape. Doran responds in kind of like a lighthearted way, like, I've seen worse, but barely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think the worst that you've seen was probably a corpse.
No, I've seen better looking corpses, to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
no problem.
You just assassinations, it just poisons, and like the corpse can look real like pristine. It just
Veiling immediately made an eye gesture at Astrid and trying to figure out exactly what kind of deep shit she was in. Yeah, but that was just like thoughts in the mind. Like I was
yeah.
But as we tend to do when the sun rises, we join us in a prayer.
Always.
This just kind of like ragtag, rambunctious group who had been joking and jovial and bouncing around, kind of immediately gather around the table, clasp hands around it, and they begin this prayer to Tyr. They mention their love for him, their adventure spirit that has brought them all together. How they continue to move forward throughout the worlds in order to find those that are lacking and bring faith to those that need it the most. as like the hymns and the songs kind of die down, you guys sit back down around the table. I wouldn't say it's somber, just meditative. Uma grabs Astrid 10. I worry about you still. You were our miracle out there that we found.
Well, obviously it was fate. And fate brought me here, and the newest thing that fate has brought me is this. And I'll kind of tilt my head, and Skull will kind of come bounding up.
Oh my. Oh my. Look at this beautiful. Look at this beautiful baby, and she brushes her hair. This found you long ago, I'm sure. And it's been following you for quite some time.
But Uma, are you not worried?
No.
Where this is from?
Oh no. You see, creatures are they mold to their environment. If something's left in the dark for too long, it becomes dark. This obviously found you in the dark, but you're no longer there. No. It's going to mold itself to your environment. And you have always been a shining light to us. Do you fear it?
No.
Ever? Even a little?
I fear that it is an omen of what's to become of me. I asked here for this, and instead, the shadows reached out.
Tyr only provides. Maybe it's telling you that even the shadows have value and worth and compassion and loyalty. Isn't that what something would manifest like this, in this form?
I suppose so.
It took a shape for a reason. You can't hide its nature, but it also, like everything, has that free will to be its best self. No, there's nothing to fear here. Not with you.
Thank you, Uma.
Child, I have one more thing for you. It's brought me good luck in the past. And although it may just seem like an old trinket, I want you to have it. And she wraps an amulet around your neck. This amulet has the symbol of Tyr you're familiar with, the scales, I hope that it will help you. And it will guide you and it will keep you safe. And she kisses you on the forehead as she climbs up on one of, like, on the bench that you guys were
Bless her.
sitting. She climbs up onto it and she kisses you on the forehead. And you just feel like a teardrop kind of run down her cheek and onto yours. My baby. Stay safe.
Thank you, Oma. I'll turn away from where Val and Valen can't see me and kind of fix myself.
Right. All right, everybody. We do have word that we'll be jumping here soon.
Where to?
It seems as though we might want to head into the Fae. There are some goods that we want to pick up, and who knows? Spend a little bit more time there than we did the last.
Be careful in the Fae. You know what it does to everyone's minds.
Right. I worry. I don't worry much about me, but some of these idiots I do worry about. And she kind of looks at, Doran and Yana, who seems to be highly infatuated with one of your mates.
I ain't gonna make it weird, man.
Well, as long as they've got you around, it should be fine.
Oh.
So, just like you told me, stay safe.
Okay.
Well, I'll walk back over to where the rest of them are.
So I'm told I owe you drinks. When and where?
Oh, I mean, if I said now, they're gonna look down on me. Because they're a bunch of prudes. This is the half orc talking. Tonight, you know what? Scratch that. 3 nights from now.
All right.
3 nights from now. They're offering big money at the pit. I'm down to be there. The rest of this group starts laughing. Oh yeah. It'd be nice to see you work again. If you survive
I can't turn that down.
If you survive it, yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to certainly get some drinks from the champ.
All right. 3 days then.
I'll bring along some more friends if you like.
I mean, you got to buy them drinks too.
I don't know if they drink. Does he drink? I'll look at you. Does your brother drink?
Him? It's been a while since I've gone anywhere with him.
It's all right. We'll see you then.
Then I'll take his beer, said Dornan.
He's too sneaky to ever let you know if he does have a drink or not.
I will take his beer. Don't worry about it. We'll settle it like that.
It's very charitable of you, Sir Cleric.
Anytime. All in the name it's here. The group continues, like, they get raucous and their laughter kind of just bellows out through kind of this holy temple where people are like maybe a little, even a bit somber or melancholic. This group up on the hill, you see their outlines in the sunlight as it still kind of rises to the east behind you. You see this table full of these loved ones that you had encountered so long ago. As you make your way back down into Waters Deep. And we could take a break right there.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm good. You are 100% Tim Geddes. You are fucking Tim Geddes all the time. And what happens when Tim Geddes says some random ass shit he wants to bring back? What happens when he wishes something into the fucking universe?
It happens.
It fucking happens. So I'm like, I can't.
I wish
All
I
right.
was Tim Geddes, because then Tim Geddes actually gets things done. Like he
Are you
gets his
correct?
wishes.
You of that group, you are Tim Geddes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, for sure.
All right, welcome back. Shout out to the winners of the Wimword giveaway.
The Wimword.
The Wimword.
Yeah, the Wimword. Not a big brand. No, a lot of people heard of it. Where did we leave off? Okay, you guys. The group that went up to the tier temple. You guys walking back?
Do you guys want to ask around for any information on that stuff since we're there, or?
You're the one who has lead on this, Astrid.
I mean, I can show you where to go.
How much information of the hells do you have, or do you know like who we can talk to about it?
I have a fairly, from a religion standpoint, I don't know all that much of the hells. From a slightly more practical standpoint, I could probably help you guys out, but it sounds like you want more of the religion and preparation more than the getting around.
We'll take it all.
I think we're good. No,
Love it.
we would need both of those. As much information as we can get is always better. Better to be prepared and know what you're getting into. So being able to get there, being able to potentially navigate, and being able to know what kind of dangers, what kind of structure in terms of hierarchy and societal structures that they have in place, and what kind of dangers we have to potentially face. All good information.
I could help you with all of that.
Do we want to just like say that we did it and then like get this information later if we want to move along the rest of the story?
Yeah.
The information you're looking for is not going to be gathered quickly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying like we'll spend some time during the week to gather the information. Like that's what a lot of us have said so far.
Okay.
But like
so like I said, so right now we're sitting at
day 3.
Day 3. So dawn approaches. In 3 days, you agreed to meet up at the pit.
Correct.
There isn't going to be a lot that's going to be accomplished today.
Mm-hmm.
You guys kind of set yourselves up knowing that a lot of what's happening this week is waiting. You in particular have something that you need to pick up from Zaragos. No, not from Zaragos.
He needs to go to Zargos. I need to go to Siren's shopkeep.
Yeah.
Monsters are also at the end of the week, so, like,
The blacksmith.
Siren's fine swords. Yeah. Siren's fine swords.
Siren's fine swords. You need to go tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Valen, you recognize that there's a lot of time to the day, but from the conversation you had this morning, it seems as though that they're uncultured swine. And you're standing almost in the epicenter of the Sword Coast. Food district.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Grocery shopping episode.
Tell me you
We wanted to
prepare
get-
a
we wanted to
gourmet
get out of
session
here
for
today,
me.
and now we aren't.
Please tell me you prepare a gourmet session for me.
You You take Val and Astrid through these winding streets that go up and down this huge hill. Um, you 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 approach like these main fairways where they have these restaurants where people are kind of like seated out on the street, and you almost kind of like laughingly mock them as you continue this parade through, and you take your groups almost further in to what you had discovered throughout your previous time here of some of the better foods. So you start off because it's still early in the morning. You start off with a bakery that provides like this really light, thin, flaking breads. Um, okay, so what I want you to do, Valen, is you're gonna visit and you're gonna tour this part of the town, and you're going to throughout the day tell like you're gonna lay out the menu and what they're eating. So you can visit multiple shops. You could stay. You're just gonna hit up all of them, right? This is just like the equivalent of going to Costco and hitting up like all the different stands.
Or any place else with food stands.
And you want me to verbally describe?
Sure, but you're just making it up. Like I was thinking you guys are gonna get like more of like a flaky bread first, and then go get some like sausages or whatever. But then I realized you probably
he already doesn't like what you're suggesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's already like sausages. Get the fuck out of here.
We're in Waterdeep, so we're basically at the epicenter of all the freshest catches from the river and from the ocean. So,
you
don't knowing
eat fish for breakfast, do you?
knowing we all woke up.
Sorry, lox and bagels. Hello.
I thought lox was like some sort of
smoked salmon.
Smoked, delicious.
Yeah, smoked salmon and so I'm gonna basically first up, because knowing that we all
me uncultured.
We all woke up very very early, after seeing Astrid covering blood, that I figure maybe we could use some fresh seafood for breakfast as well. So I took the team out basically very close to where the fishmongers and all the I would say the market for the market the fish market that they are distributing across the Sword Coast, that they were I mean, they're definitely, like they're grilled fishes, so those kind of like more traditional dishes. But they were this small stand that I just came across a couple days ago. That's really really special. So they serve this shark liver partay that serve on with cream cheese and slice of bread. That basically it's a toast points with shark liver partay and the cream cheese on it, and then so and they have smoked salmon from the oceans, and they have also some of the freshest clam that you can ever find, that they made these chowders that they do serve at the stand. So I basically
this is lunchtime that you're now eating.
Like kind of like a light brunch,
Oh shit! You're doing 6 meals today. So you had breakfast. Now you're doing brunch.
Yeah, and then after that,
we're talking about.
I've always. Yeah, well, after brunch, like while we were walking through the cities, so there's very special kind of pastry that only sold in the Waterdeep, that it's they serve with crisped up dough that has chopped up fruits in between them as the filling, but then the entire thing is covered with thick layer of caramel sugar. So it's as a treat. I bought a few and then served to the team. You know, like it's it. I I don't find it like ever like I travel north south to the Sword Coast, and this is the first time I ever taste something like this, and so I was excited, and then so I wanted to share with the team, and for the rest of the day, basically because there always something grilling and hopping on along the street corners, so you know like the even for like this the barbecues and like this the grill sausages or like the meat and those kind of things. So I just like pick here and there, you know, to always have to have so the team will always have something on their hand
Right.
while
So
we're
so
doing our
towards the
business.
lunch hours, you find yourselves a little bit probably further north towards the fields, and you guys
Mm,
partake in some of the things less sea bound, with this barbecue that he introduces you to. You
mm-hmm,
He shows you, like, it's not only that he's giving you access to these exquisite different tastes. Um, Valen is teaching you the techniques and how different. The water deep is almost like a comicosm of the world at large. Um, when he was showing you like the pastries, a lot of that was cooked because of necessity in some areas. The fish and stuff that he had shown you and fed you guys is because the people on the coast, um, that was their ways of survival, and then it bred into when they were able to like bred into this like delicacies. You find yourselves now in this like barbecue area of Waters Deep where he's showing you
mm-hmm.
like this is how um, some of those communities in the Greater Plains, how they season and they bury some of their hog into the ground and
Yeah.
let it burn in the embers and stuff. So it's more it's less of just letting you sample of it, as Valen just teaches you about
Mm.
the techniques of how and his passion of how foods are cooked. And you guys
And also, it's like in the regular bars where like Tarvin, you guys have only seen like you know very common cuts of meat, but here like they serve like special cuts like the pork joust in the back of the pork joust. The texture is as fatty and as delicious like the pork belly that you will find in regular tavern, and this is why this city is amazing. It's like you don't find this kind of delicacy in any other places.
Sort of
as
just been
as
here with my mouth
the
watering the entire
yeah,
time.
as the sun finally starts to like break across the over you and starts to like dip down towards the ocean coastline, Valen takes the opportunity to travel further down south, um, to show you where like is a good spot to sample some of the more interesting dinners that he would find. This one a little bit more surf and turf.
More
Um,
surf and turf.
uh, Liam, you have an ability to talk to them at this point, right?
I mean, I have the sending stone, but I mean, I thought I was just stud. I mean, I
At
was doing
any
research.
point during this day, do you want to? It
No,
is
I figured
heading
if they
towards
wanted to
evening.
get in contact with me, they also have the ability to do that. It's both ways. Um,
Oh, we're just having
I
too
was
much
just
fun whining and
working,
dining.
eating lightly. I'll grab dinner with them, and I was planning. I was already planning as soon as they got back to be like, "Hey guys, is anyone hungry?" This was the first thing I was gonna ask. Uh, but
Um, in the catacombs of the castle, DW finds himself still combing through books looking for something.
Still
He
working.
discovers
Do you mean to make
books
any
upon
bills?
books about the dangers of Tiamat, this deity, the other half of these dragon gods. But nothing. I don't think he's found anything any more interesting than God versus the devil. That there are these two dragon deities, one light and one dark.
So nothing about where Tiamat would be.
Tiamat had been conquered long ago.
Okay.
You find a book
And not where she
that's
got banished to.
the only interesting book you find.
Okay.
Talks about the Great War
Okay.
that happened centuries ago. That all of the creatures of this plane fought off and defeated Tiamat in a great battle and sent it to the Nine Hells, where it was going to remain for all eternity. That there was a battle and even that every creature on earth, the elves, the drows, the the dwarves, the sky giants, all came together to defeat this one entity that vowed to destroy this world and bring on an age of dragons. But your stomach is rumbling.
Okay, yeah.
During these encounters, and the information seemed not nearly as interesting as.
Well, maybe I can find something in like the castle kitchen or something.
I got something for you if you're hungry. And your mentor hands you like this.
Oh no.
You can only assume it's beef jerky, but it's kind of. It takes on the appearance of like when a battery goes bad and it starts to leak.
I don't want to impose. I'll find some food. They left us food in our rooms. I'll be back after I eat, and maybe I'll go get some. What time is it right now?
Oh, I don't. And then he kind of looks at this tinkering machine that continues to it spirals and clicks and tinks, and he says, "It is like wind."
If I let me go grab food from our rooms, and I'm sure the kitchen staff keeps bringing us food. We don't want it to go to waste, and I don't want to propose with you.
No.
Those
are not the kitchen staff. Those are
the day, or if no one else has
a
anything
drow.
to come back, I'll come back later. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for some study on dragons, or some more research into the schools of wizardry and spell training.
I hope to be here. See you soon.
Okay.
And he goes back. He stands up on a stool and he goes back to some alchemy.
All right, I'll just go upstairs, and if no one's there, I'll just find some food by myself and just eat what
Nope.
I can.
This
we
is.
get up there at the same time, or is it completely incorrect timing?
I would say you guys could probably get up there. You guys are just full bellied. You guys still have some of the grease on your face and mouths from these meals that you had been eating with Valen.
Oh, good. Glad you guys are
Kind of
back.
sucking some of these fatty meats from your teeth.
Man, I don't know about you guys. I'm so tired, but I've been looking at books all day. I got some information. I can tell you guys over dinner. I'm so hungry. Or some, like weird jerky downstairs.
We weren't sure that when you were gonna finish the studying, so we kind of went ahead and then just had the meal ourselves. Sorry, Lian.
At this point, Astrid will step forward, and what you guys haven't noticed is she's been stuffing food in a handkerchief this entire time, and there's this
really?
full handkerchief, and I'll just sit it down on the table and say, think of it as a peace offering.
Is it? You said it's raw?
No.
What?
She's saying,
No, just
no. She
food.
was saying that she's been like cramming food into this handkerchief this whole time, as a nice way of being like, I'm too full to eat.
No, it was like a splitting everything that I ate before we ate it type thing.
Oh, okay.
Not like the leftovers. There was some conscious active
as long as it's not
effort.
like mushed together and nasty. If it looks good.
No,
but you are a little bit confused as to what you're looking at, because this is Valen's picks of the best dinner on a sword coast, on a very open seafaring nation.
I'll eject the dagger from my left hand and kind of like use it to like kind of move some of the stuff around to like, what is all of this?
What? I highly recommend that one. I'll put to the shark liver one.
You guys ate all of this? Like Valen, I 100% believe.
Most of it.
Shark liver has high fat content. I don't know what you're talking about. You will not
You're asking
know.
Val?
No, I'm telling
asking
Lian. I'm telling Lian
No,
that.
I'm just saying like DW would ask Val, right? 'Cause
Oh,
it's his
okay.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Val also spent years just in the woods eating whatever the fuck he could find. So like this shit was real good.
There's a difference between like eating shit in the woods that you control and just eating whatever Valen.
There you go. That was his answer. He ate shit in the. That's his answer. He ate shit in the woods, and he's saying this is real good.
Well, it's your choice, but
if the description is that, if the description says that it was good, I will partake and continue to go ahead and eat. So. And whenever
I would
feel
say
it's a little too weird, I'll just kind of like knock it onto the floor and Anshu will eat it.
There.
Anshu immediately starts having like blink diarrhea.
Well, he knows what room he's got to go for that.
Never mind. I guess. All right. I was gonna say DW was like immediately in love with his food because.
I said whatever I
Valen
didn't recognize. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Well, I'm no. I'm just saying Valen doesn't steer you wrong, so you end up enjoying the meals. But now Anshu has blink diarrhea, and just coats this room, in the most unsavory way. You all immediately just like adjourn for the night. This is more than what you want to deal with.
yeah, and we'll leave Lian's to clean all that up.
Yeah, go to your rooms and hope whoever sets the charcuterie board probably cleans this up. Morning breaks on the third day of your visit.
Yeah.
Fourth day of your visit. You guys all step out into the common room, and to everybody's pleasure, the room is completely cleaned. Although the charcuterie board. How do I say it again?
Charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Alex.
Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie board is it's not there.
Oops.
Okay. Anshu?
I haven't like someone did today or yet. So
At the sound of Anchu, the Anchu busts through the doors and immediately starts.
Anchu, no. Sit, stay. No. Anchu.
Liam, why
All right,
don't you
so
spend some time during the week
We've already been doing
training?
that. He's just excited in the mornings.
so the board is missing. So who took the charcuterie board? Who
just said
finished
your dog
the?
Probably didn't bring it after cleaning the mess.
Oh, that's true. That might be true. Last night was that was you need to spend some time with your dog, man. Like I'm not kidding. Like if you want him to travel with us from now on, especially I am telling you, like when you think it's bad now, when it's get onto the ship, it's gonna get 10 times worse. I'm not kidding.
Creature. He is still learning. He is just very excited in the mornings, and he can appear or disappear on whim when I choose to. So don't worry about traveling with us.
I mean, you can make him disappear when you want to, but can you make his business disappear as well?
We're working on that, and it wasn't in the
I'm
orders
telling
manual
you.
for the Fey creature.
You know how the ship crews love that boat.
Sure, but you also understand
So
how a Fey creature works that is highly intelligent. So if he knows that you're yelling at it, he guess which way he's gonna start targeting his business. So just work with him. He's not dumb. He's just very excited.
okay.
Yeah. This isn't a normal dog. This is a Fey creature. So
It apparates next to Val, gives him a lick, and then just kind of like wanders back towards his master. What all are you up to today? We don't have to spend a lot of time in today, but there are blades to be.
All I have.
I'll rinse and repeat.
Okay, so you guys go out into the city, and
I'll inform everybody of what I'm doing. Like, I'm not like sneaking away to go do this. I'm just saying, like, I have to go pick up some blades that I commissioned, and then I'll be back.
Bastards stay.
Yeah. You show me where it is. I know where to go.
So it doesn't take you more than like 3 hours to get back to the castle now with these new blades in hand. That you received from the blacksmith. The quality is exquisite. You're really satisfied with the feel, super balanced. You go to swing them around. You enter the courtyard. You go to swing around, and one of the guards kind of like comes up to you, like, "Look, we have a training yard for that." And he takes you over to a yard that has these pummels and these like straw figures and stuff. You have the opportunity to swing them around, really put him through his paces.
Okay.
After about an hour or so, I mean, it's an extension of your hand. You feel as though that it is that it almost makes moves and slashes towards things that you had yet to think of. Highly satisfied with the work.
All I had.
I don't think.
I mean, you can.
I'll just spend the rest of my day, helping out with research. That's all I have. That, or I'll end up fashioning some more dragon tooth arrows since I've got time, and I just can do that at my leisure.
Okay. Jesus Christ, I can't even do the correction right. Okay, so then you're gonna make your roll again. How many more teeth do you have?
I have a shit ton.
Do you have a shit ton?
I have.
Okay, so
Currently, I still have 58.
58. Okay, so there's so much that you want to risk losing.
Mhm.
And then go ahead and make that roll like you normally do. In the meantime, DW, Valen, this is a day that we want to do expenditure. Okay, so you're fairly successful. How many do you think you can get done in this time?
In a day, if I spent 3 hours going there and back, and then like an hour or two doing that. I'll spend like 3 other hours doing that, fashioning these.
12.
Yeah, I'm sure 12.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cool.
So you're now sitting on 12. Valen, DW, what are you guys doing?
I
If
think
not,
I'm
we
just
can-
gonna keep exploring the city. You
Okay.
know,
I'm just gonna do
like
the
wandering
dragon
around.
research.
So the next 2 days pass by. You guys are kind of become a little bit more familiar with the city.
I was just doing dragon research, and
Today's the day you visit Zaragoza.
Yeah.
You head down into the trades ward and you meet a familiar friend. There inside of Zaragoza's Emporium, you walk inside and he's waiting at the front desk for you. Friend, what is that I could do for you?
I'm here to collect those spell scrolls that we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Head out of town.
Spell scrolls. Can I interest you in anything else? Because spell scrolls are be a waste, if you ask me. You have them once, you use them, they're gone forever.
It's
But look
true.
at this.
We will still need those, even though they're one-time uses. But I'll happily look at anything else you may have before we go. Maybe the party could use them.
Yes, well, unfortunately, I must speak to you about this one thing. Come back here with me. There was talk that you have that maybe I provide some of my intellectual properties to you.
Mm-hmm.
What I can do is I can give you this one that I made. You can hear it at all times. But if you're slain, there will be no signs of it. Cannot be recovered. This is yours and yours alone. Like I said, if people get a hold of my work, I'm out of business. But you do so much good things for me, I can help you. So, here. And he places in hands 2, they look like golden beetle shells. 1, receiver. The other one, for
Transmitter.
listening.
Can it be moved?
Excuse me?
Can it be moved, or is it a one-time place?
Whatever this one, and he points to the receiver, is where you hear.
Okay. What's the range?
Wherever you are, he points to the other end, is where you hear.
So there is no.
This is essentially how it works for me.
Okay.
You place them in shops, I listen. I understand the business sides of these shops, and I undercut them, maybe just a little. What I've done special for these is that upon your death, I don't have to worry about my technology falling into a competitor's hand.
Makes sense. Thank you.
No, thank you. I seem to be expanding everywhere except for that godforsaken frozen lands up north. That I could do without.
Yeah, it's not for everyone because that climate is not fun. I don't know how many ways they can dress up blubber as nice material.
Right.
How many of those skull scrolls were you able to procure?
We have 3.
You're able to get 3.
Yes, I apologize, but
Okay.
what I did is I took away from the ones that I know that you have, and I tried to find 3 interesting ones.
Well, these are 3 particular ones.
Yes, those 3 particular ones.
Okay.
Spell scrolls flow through here, but like you said, you're looking for something particular.
Yeah, 3 scrolls of protection from evil and good.
Yes. Be careful where you use that one. You may not like what you see. And if you're satisfied, we'll finish our business here. I have much to attend to.
Sure. I mean, we had credit with you before. With the items that we used, can we use that for this? Otherwise, I'll need to double back
Credit.
before I can we give him 3 items.
No. Yeah, we're straight.
Okay. Otherwise, I'd have to go get the money from my brother. Too.
No, we're straight.
Okay.
We had that worked out beforehand. Don't worry. Okay. Very good. Seeing you again. Perhaps I will see you tonight when I go to watch your companion at the pit.
What's this?
Oh. No, I'm sure I'll see you there. The pit. Astrid.
What pit? What's Astrid doing with it?
She's the champion of Waterdeep. She has a crown to defend tonight.
She does?
You crack me up. You crack me up. How do you not know this? We will see you. I will see you tonight. No, personally, in my own personal box.
Am I crazy?
I will.
Sure.
My own personal
yes,
box.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just.
Yes. No, you can sit with me. You and your You and your companions.
Great. Looking forward to it. Who is she fighting?
Oh. Yeah, the fights are open to whoever wants to challenge the champion.
Of course, of course. Okay. Well, thank you so much for helping us out with this. And if you see any other interesting items, let us know. We'll be happy to give you a fair shot at those first, hopefully.
Right. Always good business with you. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you very much. Well, I'll head out now.
You head back to the castle, like everybody else. Up those winding stairs into the common room. You walk in, you find Valen, Val, and Astrid sitting around the main common room.
Do you have identify?
Nope.
Okay.
My brother does. What's up? What do you need?
Am I walking in now, or is this before?
No, you're in.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. Okay. While he was out, I'm just gonna cast detect magic really quick.
Okay.
Sorry. Thought anything for so long. So roll.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to. I just cast detect magic. Is there anything new? Like, because I know, like, my weapon's magic.
Is there anything new?
I'm mostly curious about what are you doing? Why are you?
I'm confused by what you're doing.
I'm trying to see if the amulet is blessed or in any way, shape, or form other than it's just her lucky amulet.
She's trying to see if it radiates magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a roll to your detect magic or no?
It just gives off
No,
a magical aura, and then you can tell the
So you sit in your room.
I don't know
So
why.
this is a little bit previous before you got there. You're in your room, and you're kind of like thumbing over this necklace with a brooch. Oh, is that possible? This necklace with this
With a pendant?
with a pendant,
pendant's the
exactly. And you kind of like you're stroking it, thinking of Uma. And as you're kind of trying to detect, to gather what it is, if it has any meaning, it sparks and it fizzles and it shines a light and then that light disappears. It's clearly in some history of the world it meant something and it did something. Uma's lived long. She's been so far, traveled through so many places that you recognize that some items have been damaged through time. You, of all people, are familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's precious. It was precious to her. It's more precious to you now. But unfortunately, it's probably not worth anything on an open market.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a weird thing for you to think about. But when you used to collect items, that was like one of your first thoughts.
Yeah.
All right, so I show up,
Yeah, I'm back out by then.
and then I will say, "Hey, everybody. So I got 3 scrolls of protection from evil and good. I'll take one, and I'll copy this into my spellbook. And then I'll give these 2 to Astrid for sure. And I don't think this is a spell that unfortunately Val can use. So this one can go.
You can use
sorry,
the
not Val.
scroll.
Valen. So Val can use this one, but this will at least save him a precious spell slot if he ever needs to use it. And then if Zorgos ever comes up with more of these while we're gone, we can always get more from him or from other people in the future, and just have these stockpiled. Sorry.
I mean, I can.
But yeah, so
Cast
we
the
can do
spell.
that. And then the other thing Zargos gave me was he gave me he gave us it for our own use, this magic spying device. So we actually have a receiver and unit, I don't know, for our own use. It looks like it's audio only, and whoever uses it, if they were to die, the whole thing goes away. But something just to keep in mind.
That's interesting.
The safe thing we could do would be to leave one behind with our keep. So we at least have ears always in the keep. But I mean, as we spread our, or the ship. But as we, continue to grow in the future, we might need more than maybe just having a keep is not significant enough. So maybe having it with us and using it as a safety net tool might be more useful. I'm not sure. So just something else we have.
That's fine. Sorry, how many scrolls did you handed me one, but I can cast it.
Sure, and with scrolls, that makes sense. Scrolls are limited to a caster type that can cast it. The benefit of a scroll, though, is it freezes up a spell slot.
Yeah,
So if we're
that's
going
fair.
into a combat situation where this would be useful as the concentration spell, i.e. against the Rakshasa and everything again, having this pre-cast and ready to go would probably be very beneficial, and also not using up our other spell slots for, whether it's for attacking spells or whatever, right? So it's one of those things I just thought having another utility, having this for that utility situation might be useful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In my case, I don't have the spell already known, so it makes me, I will be copying it into my spellbook.
Yeah.
What I might be able to do in the future is, with some more practice, be able to make my own spell scrolls. I just need to do some research on how to do the reverse of everything else. So, so maybe I can produce the spell scrolls just like the mages that produced this spell scroll did. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
we'll see how that goes. But right now, I was just making sure that we had them on hand for use. think I wish this was a spell that Valen would be able to know, but I don't think it's one that Valen can.
I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, I looked it up earlier. I don't think he can. It's not in the bard list. Technically, Valen bypasses the bard list with one of his, I think level 10 he has magical secrets, which means he can learn a spell from any class, but I don't know if he wants to waste it on a level 1 spell.
Probably not.
Also, I don't, yeah, it'll be it's a pretty big waste.
There's still a couple. I mean, if I get to level 10, I mean, there's still a couple, level 4 and level 5 spells I wanted to try. So I probably won't learn that.
Missing a 5th level spell, like you have a slot open that you've never picked.
Yeah, I know. I need to get back to that.
You could just do it.
Hard choice.
Yeah, I think
A lot of good
open
choices
it up
out there.
and just add it
Yeah.
in there. Yeah, protection.
What time is it?
Protection from anything is not in the bard spell list.
Good sir.
It is at this point, I believe it's closing in on evening.
Okay.
You are preparing for exactly what you think is happening. And
Perfect.
the conversation dies down as you leave this main room, and then you come back in. You're not wearing your usual attire, and you don't have your blades on you.
All right.
Astrid, you look ready for a fight.
Want to go to the pit?
I could go for some entertainment, yes.
All right.
Astrid walks you through the room.
Oh, we were invited to go to Zargos in his private box. Apparently we're going to a pit fight tonight.
She's fighting in it.
Right, I wasn't informed until Zargos told me about it, but apparently we're invited to Zargos' box.
Well,
Did you need somebody in your corner for anything?
no, I'll probably have someone there.
Okay. Then I will accompany my brother to Zargos's box.
Fancy.
It might be a little too highbrow for me. We'll see what happens. But I like Zargos, so should be fun.
All right. There's nothing else. Oh. No, we'll head out. Or I'll head out. I don't know. You guys can come later if you'd like. Oh, you don't know where you're going. Let's go.
All right.
You guys head into town. And you all are quickly as the center of town emerges, you guys quickly start seeing this rambunctious nature of the people of Waters Deep. As night kind of starts to descend, you see more and more people of the town kind of come up. Some of them are in really nice, lavish outfits with these top hats and these dragon skin. Some of them even have dragon skin suits. You see these really impressive outfits. As you guys walk in, the crowd kind of ushers you into this giant building, inside of which at the center there's this pitted out ground, and all of a sudden the cheering and stuff is deafening immediately as you see people kind of surround this square pitted floor of it's quickly becomes known that you're now in a fighting rink, that that the pit lives up to its name. You find yourselves inside of this massive room, brought upon on all sides with these crowds, these rambunctious crowds. And who am I missing? My apologies, everybody.
Oh no,
Oh, no.
Viva! Up at the top, there's one of those whisper things that we fought in the no, like
The
all
Bodax.
the way up here. You remember what it was
Yeah,
called?
it's a Bodak.
A Bodak? Yeah.
Here
Alright,
you go.
here you go.
Don't worry about it.
You're gonna get your shit pushed in. Have fun.
The crowd gets louder and louder and louder as Astrid, who had kind of like gone off on her own, wanders in through like one of the archways into this dry, pitted room. I don't think that music works.
There's just like an opera singer in the corner.
Just one person.
Two people are just fucking duking it out. All of a sudden, the Duel of Fates comes on from the opera singer.
As you walk in, immediately Zaragos greets the three of you.
Ah, Zaragos, how is it?
Hey, my friend. I have a lot of money on your lady friend here. This will prove to be an exciting night. On the other end, you see Astrid. You see in this opposite corner here, your friends, your family, cheering you on. In front of you stands your competitor. An announcer speaks up through
Thaumaturgy.
speaks up into the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the pits. You all familiar with the ruling champion, the one from beyond the stars, the kicker of asses, the taker of no names, Astrid, as she faces off against the degenerate, the lowlife, the blood-seeking tyrant, the orc blade of Levanal. All right, we're gonna need you to roll for. Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's been so long. I don't know how to roll for initiative.
Hold on, I got it.
Can someone spell Coliseum?
No.
Well, fuck my life.
Oof.
Dang it.
Please step into the center of the ring. sportsmanship is terrific at the start. Do you have control over your character, Astrid?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
well then.
There.
All right.
Hold on. I need 5 seconds. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. I'm good now. Sorry.
A hush kind of goes over the crowd as the two of you eye each other down. You're confronted with this creature with mass bigger than you, kind of towering above you, with these like hunched shoulders.
I have an extra 25 health pool.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you, there is no magic here in the pit. These fights are fought with brawn, knuckles. Bloodshed is the only way to win.
Mm-hmm.
They're only allowed their weapons of choice.
Oh.
The orc starts kind of circling around you
Wait, I can use.
as you guys look each other down.
I was confused because he said you.
Wait, as a clarification, is this only?
I would say there's no
Just
magical.
used the long sword.
Well,
No. I'm sorry. So
Fail.
there is no magic.
no magic.
You get to use your weapons. You
I
can't
can
like
use my
cast
weapon.
spells.
Okay.
So you
But
still
get
have your old glaive.
her new glaive still works.
Oh, her new one does.
Yes. There's no fireballs, there's no projectiles, there's no
Yeah.
magics. Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does not hit.
So the orc blade just kind of hops, like just lunges at you with these long swords, slashing. Both of them you're able to parry easily.
That's the end of their turn. I will roll. 19.
You open up with your first attack. It managed to hit. Just barely. As you lunge forward with your Dragon Slayer
I know.
blade, it retracts, but you connect regardless.
That's 8 points. And then I will hit again. Because I did 2 attacks. I think I missed. Never mind. 19.
Again, as he recovers from the other one, he looks and he dips his shoulder and he looks at you, hands down into the ground. You strike with your Dragon Slayer. His like whiplash reflexes still are not enough to stop you as you strike again.
Nice hit.
Mm-hmm.
trying to do it.
The
without-
crowd goes wild as you cut this one open, and there's this visceral spray of blood.
What's our weapon?
And then I'll for my bonus action, I'll try and hit him again.
My God.
Is a 20 hit? This is
20 does.
revenge for those stupid trolls.
Jesus, she's on a roll.
Nothing lower than a 19. Okay, yes, it hits.
7 points.
Your third attack
Help.
slices through its belly, like from chest to chest. It just splits open, and this blood starts to drip from it, and it looks at you. And it shows its this maul, this teeth, these jagged teeth in front of it. Jesus Christ.
As this kind of brutality going on, Valen kind of make a look to Val saying that, is this place sanctioned by the council? Are we allowed to be here?
Zara goes, look, my friend.
This is part of Waterdeep.
I bet
Jesus.
good money on this goddamn primate. This is not going well for me. Fuck, it
Sargos, I'm
splits
sorry.
open.
Did you just say that you bet against Astrid?
Look,
You were the one who put us in contact with her initially.
yes, but only a fool would bet on a sure thing.
Is this kind of bloodshed is gonna continue? I mean, that she's killing the.
Not for much longer. The orc blade just comes spinning at you. It hobbles like this like ape-like form, kind of like jumps, spins in these directions. The initial attack comes with a long sword down across you, and then again two-handed across. You manage to miss both actions.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just looking at my sheet. I only get 2 attacks. So can I use that 20 that I rolled
No,
previously?
You just gotta give him back to 7.
Okay, you get 7 back because I
Okay,
can only
good.
attack twice. I forgot that the thing that gives me bonus action is when is a 2-handed weapon. Like, it's different. Sorry. All right.
Yeah, fortunately, they fresh rolls, so you have to.
Yeah, that's fine.
First attack.
11.
He grabs it with this ape-like hand. Immediately throws it into the dirt.
All right. I shall
The
try
crowd,
again.
the crowd. After that initial fight, the crowd is just like, maybe this will be more interesting than they thought.
Maybe.
Son of a nutcracker.
Second attack.
Define interesting.
Second attack. He grabs your hand. Is that the end of your turn? Those 2
yes.
attacks.
That was 2 attacks.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 will hit.
Does a 13 hit?
A 13 will not hit.
And then hold on.
no.
So did that hit? So
The
I
23
believe
hit.
yeah, so that is 30.
HS, dude. Okay.
So
Holy shit! What?
Where did you get 30?
So I have the
I see
17.
there's an
It was a 13 to hit and it missed. There was a 23 to hit that would have hit.
Yeah, so
And then-
17, and then you
I
did
don't
30,
understand how that
9.
works.
So you did 10
So
slashes.
it's 27.
No.
27.
Yeah.
No.
It should have been
Yes.
2 because I get an extra die
You get
damage.
an extra die. The 17 included the extra die. It was 7 plus 7 plus 3.
Oh.
It was 2d8 instead of 1d8. It's longsword is 1d8. You get an extra die, so it's 2d8.
Yeah, so
Okay,
plus
so
his
it's just the
modifier.
17. I don't know why it
Oh.
I don't know why I clicked on the top one and it rolled
Alright.
the other one.
Okay. Well, give me a second. Now I gotta do math.
You put yourself back to full and you take off 17.
That's weird.
I was just gonna heal myself. Okay. That's fine. Cool.
Finally, some blood starts to leak from you as the crowd gets more and more excited.
Okay.
Go ahead, your turn.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's
rolling.
yours now.
Yep. 15.
Misses as it kind of ducks underneath it as it goes back into this like real low.
$27.
That hits.
Damn!
That's it.
And 12 points.
It bobs out of the way of your first move, but it's quickly you catch it with your second swing of the Dragon Slayer. You lop off its ear and it just kind of like shrieks. The crowd goes wild as they see more bloodshed. Zara goes like, shit,
Oh.
fuck. Oh, no, that's great, but fuck. Oh, shit. Is that the end of your turn?
How big? So these are 5-foot squares. Okay. I'm going to.
No. What's happening?
I lied. I was gonna move, but then I realized that
Jesus Christ.
I
The
feel
next two attacks poof, as you're able to just like however you think you would
How would you defend yourself or evade these attacks?
Yeah.
I'd say probably the first one I would kind of make it skip off the metal part of the glaive, and then as the second one I'll just kind of flip it down and kind of just pop the second blade kind of down to where the blade's in the dirt.
Fuck, she's showboating out there. Fuck my life, I'm gonna lose this money. Your turn.
Yeah. 22.
Holy God!
A hit.
She just keep hitting and hitting.
12.
Really high
Holy
rolls.
Okay.
high rolls. 13.
The blood has not yet like hit the gravel, this dusty pit floor before you swing again. Unfortunately, this one misses.
You could if you wanted.
In a just sheer desperation, the orc lunges on you, swings two-handedly with his longsword. You dodged two of his attacks with expert ease. It's your turn.
Just means-
18 just
You
misses,
just-
right?
No, you just barely managed to hit.
Oh, I thought
It
Stacy was 19.
was a 19.
Damn. All right. Oh, it's 8.
As another spray of blood hits this like dusty floor and immediately like coagulates. In front of you, you see this orc panting. Teeth on the bottom of his jaw kind of like still out, protruding across his mouth. And you start to hear the chanting of everybody in the crowd. Finish him! Finish him!
You have your second attack.
Way in the back, you hear, "No, don't finish." But if anything else, you hear
Perception check to see if
this
you recognize the voice.
familiar sound
I was
of
gonna make
your
that same
family.
joke. She'll
It's
never
familiar
hear
sound
that
of your
voice right
family.
in the back.
You're the
As,
fam.
as they cheer for you.
Is it too showboaty to unarmed strike?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Nothing's too showboaty.
You're in an arena. You're allowed to do anything you want.
I know, but if I miss, it's gonna be real embarrassing. Fine. Just let's do it. I hate you. You should have just done what I wanted to do.
That didn't do anything different.
Ugh.
Yeah, one with the weapon or one without the weapon would have been just as bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, it's a different button that I had to click. You didn't know that it was gonna be a 1 if I clicked the other button.
Schrodinger's button.
Exactly.
You strike with your Dragon Slayer. That familiar voice rooting against you draws your blade as you try to attack, and you barely like swipe it across his face.
Argon's out here just playing you.
Oh God.
Ooh, that's gonna hit.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 hits.
That will be
8.
20 damage.
It's 8.
No, it's. I don't understand this. The
It is
19
3
hits.
plus the 2.
Okay, so I don't get where you're getting these numbers from.
If you hover over the 8, it says rolling 2d8 plus 3, and it rolled a 3 and a 2 plus 3 is equal to 8.
But isn't there an extra roll?
That is
That
the
is
extra
extra
roll. Is the
roll.
2d8.
Damn,
Got
Because
dude.
it's a long
1d8
sword, so it's
weapon.
normally just 1d8.
Boo! Fuck this. 8.
2d8's pretty good. I mean,
Shut up.
3d8s.
I only hit her for 8. She's not even like half bar.
All right. Well, a 23 hit.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Oh, but 8 points.
Is that how you
You
want to
raise
do
up
this?
your Dragon Slayer. How do you want to do this?
Oh, all right. First time I ever got to do this. Okay, so,
She did a little happy dance.
I did do a
for
little
anyone
happy
who
I'm
is.
telling you, get us a camera, goddammit. We know what's happening.
I'll raise it up like I'm about to like cut down, but instead I'll just keep it raised and use the butt of it just to pop him right in the middle of the face.
its face just like indents. Blood just rushes out of its mouth as it collapses immediately onto the ground. The pit goes wild. You only barely hear the sobbing as Zargo says he lost a handful of money. But good game. God damn it. She
I
usually
rolled
makes
really well.
me a fortune, but fuck this. On the backside, you hear your fam as they root for you. They run up to the edge of the fighting ring to the pit as they cheer you on.
I'll do the what is this from? This is from like classic like gladiator, like both arms up with the bloody like weapon, just like ah.
Are you
Not minus the screaming.
Yeah, are you entertained?
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild. You remain the champion, the heart of the pit, as you've been called. Your reign continues. Gold shekels rain down upon you.
Val like leans over the balcony and is like, "You did it! Good job!" and starts like throwing praise and like tosses in like gold.
Need that gold back later.
Over the course of the next couple minutes, the crowd clears out, and you find yourselves kind of alone in the arena with access to the pit, where you see your companion, and in the middle, standing above the body of a slain warrior.
Oh, before everything gets too crazy, I will use lay on hands and give them like 2 hit points so they don't actually die.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
I'm still a paladin.
Right. So he kind of looks at you and he bows his head. Thank you, mistress. It is an honor to be defeated by you. And then he walks out backwards, like with his head kind of laid down, in symbolism of his respect for you. You stand in the middle of this dusty pit, barely covered in blood. As some of the people that work, some of the hands that work for the pit, as they rush up with these gathered like pieces of gold, and they start like pouring them into your arms.
Heck yeah. I will. Well, I don't have like anything to store it all in, so.
Well, I guess we'll jump down into the pit.
No, you I guess walked into the pit. This was all being described as you guys walked down from Zardagos's box into the pit, where you find her all alone.
I'll come up and offer my congratulations. Actually, that was one hell of a fight you put on there.
Thank you. It's always, the pit is always interesting. Never ceases to entertain. Can I go to the other corner?
She wants to go see her family.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to.
Oh yeah, they're over here. Top left.
Yep. You guys can come along.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
You walk up immediately. You see a couple humans, a half orc, a dwarf who's barely like looking over the railing. Child, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it. No, where are our drinks? This is a bullshit. I saw you win all this money. Pay up. Everybody's out. So already this room is dead. Let's go back up to the shrine. Have some drinks. Bring me, I don't know, at least 1 keg's worth. As the half orc kind of just like nudges you with a smirk.
Well, you guys did come out, so I will treat everyone to drinks.
You will not treat us. You owe us.
I will pay my debt of drinks.
Mm-hmm. God damn right. Thanks, Tyr. As you guys leave the pit and head back up towards the hilltops on the northern point of Water's Deep, the half orc continues to lay in about how you owe him myriads of drinks. And as you get up there to that table, and you watch as this moon, this giant moon, kind of like rests right above, right above like the water line as the ocean stretches on into eternity. You all are merry and drink. Uma comes up to you. Says, "Child, this is one of those moments we have to enjoy. There's much to be asked of you. Tomorrow will not be the same as today. But for now, shots." And she puts up a shot. She tips to everybody who's in range and then throws it back. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Yay!
Whee!
Holy moly!
That was a good session. That was not a good session.
Thanks for those of you who were, when the session got away and it became something else, you guys hung in there and then paid attention and still let it happen. That's awesome.
Deeply appreciate I deeply appreciate the gourmet session of this entire campaign.
I think there always will be moments in which we need to sit back and just let things happen, even though they don't involve us. And you guys did a great job, so I appreciate it. We're gonna reach a point where it's everybody's in. It's a team effort and everything. So this was a good session.
Hell
I had a ton
yeah.
of fun.
Oh, good.
It was fun. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching the stream. Bye.